Hey everyone, thanks for popping in. Sorry for the brief delay, but we're about to jump right onto the ladder. Played a lot of different decks today, testing for the stream. Some were terrible. A few were pretty good. We're going to play some of the ones that are pretty good today. Who dat? Definitely have not had enough of Temur Adventures yet. You can see it right here in the favorite decks list, but you know, I know how the deck plays. I know how it feels against all the top stuff in the format. It's fine. I'm always on the lookout, though, for something that's better than fine. So today we're going to play some Black-Blue Mutate. We may do some Nethroi pile. This is something I built today that feels okay so far. Maybe some Temur Clover. Maybe some of the latest Aaron Barrich Jeskai creation, which just jams Fires and Winota and Yorion all in the same deck, and apparently is pretty good, I've been told. Lots of options, but I think we're just going to get started with some Black-Blue Mutate today. Very straightforward deck, kind of does the same thing every game, so we may not stick with it for long, but the thing it does is quite powerful against a lot of what's going on in Standard now. What's up, Panda Ninja? Alright, beat number 6 in the ladder today. Now we get another top 50 opponent. Love to see the stiff competition. You get some sleeves on this deck. And yep, this hand's a keep, so Blue-Black Mutate. Basically just running a bunch of 1-drops you can mutate onto. You're running Baby Godzilla, and then you just kind of jam Sea-Dash or Octopi and pouncing Shore Sharks until your opponent is dead. But we do need lands more than we need more sharks. We will be sharking some people today, but first it's lands. This looks like Wilderness Reclamation to me. And we still need some lands. Start Baby Godzilla here, make Sea-Dash or Octopus cheaper, means I might be able to, whoops, never mind. Don't know how this deck fares against Reclamation. We have a lot of counterspells on the sideboard to bring in over the, and just get rid of Umori as a companion when we're doing that. It looks like they may be missing green mana for now. So we're actually going to go with a Stonecoil Serpent X equals 1, just so I can get Spectral Sailor down this turn as well, because I really want to put Sea-Dash or Octopus on something and start hitting them. Otherwise, I feel like we're going to run out of time pretty quickly, although they are struggling with green mana still. Not anymore. Not anymore. Alright, so we'll go for Sailor. We're hoping they're not running main deck Flame Sweep. If they are, it's a problem. See if this gets disputed. They've got something up. It did get disputed. Okay. Well, maybe we can get through with Stonecoil. Let's try it. The other option is to hold up Borrower and try to bounce a Reclamation. But I see no evidence that they actually have Reclamation. They would have jammed it last turn, clearly. Could Temple first. I think I'd rather first see whether this Octopus gets to come down or not. Let's see what happens. Maybe we get borrowed, but the Octopus resolves anyway, so that's fine. If they've got Scorching Dragonfire, we're going to get 2 for 1, but we have a Slitherwisp as follow-up, so I don't mind getting rid of the Scorching Dragonfire for that. Alright, Intervention comes out, also a fine one to get out of their hand here. Still want lands, yep, I'll take a tap land even. Love Slitherwisp in this deck. Down to 3 cards, and it looks like no Reclamations, so I'll take that. Question is, do I try and get a Shark out of their hand, attack with Stonecoil to tempt them? Frankly, I really want to play Slitherwisp this turn, so I'm okay with them trying to cycle Shark Typhoon. I think I'm not going to be swinging with Serpent here as a result of that. 5th land. Do I want that? That lets me borrow and cast Borrower in the same turn? I think I'm still down for land number 5. Let's see if it's Shark time. We've already gotten through 2 disputes. It's Castle Vantress time. Alright, so do I get Slitherwisp down now? It's possibly vulnerable to an explosion, but it will be anyway. Let's wait for them to scry, and then I think I'm just going to jam Slitherwisp after that. Although it's vulnerable to Storm's Wrath right now, too. Let's actually let this go. They've already cast 2 Mystical Disputes. They topped something. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Reclamation, but it looks like maybe it's not. They could Explosion the Slitherwisp if I do this, but I think maybe we just go Borrower here. This feels like Explosion to me, the fact they left that mana up. Let's Borrower. If I lose Slitherwisp, I'm in real trouble this game. Hard decision. Yep, there's the explosion as expected. So as far as what to do this turn, I think I'm just holding up Slitherwisp Borrower. Could cast Slitherwisp now, again, still worried about Storm's Wrath. Would prefer to hold up Borrower to bounce a Reclamation, so I can go bounce Reclamation, cast Slitherwisp. Could have cast Shore Shark there as well to hit my opponent for 5 off the Serpent, but feels like that's not quite impactful enough. So the Wisp is in. Maybe it's another explosion coming at us here. If they have any sharks, then saving Borrower is going to be real good. Hi there, Copper Dream. And good morning, Bottle Brush. Wisp is down, we're getting exploded, scorched, what's up? Would really love another Sea Dasher Octopus one of these days. Another explosion, ouch. Yep, so problem with the Umori version of this deck, you can't run any counters main deck. I have seen people play this with the no companion, just running counter spells in the main, which is pretty reasonable, given the rest of the deck's game plan. Opponent's now on 7 cards, 7 lands. Uro perhaps popping out of the graveyard. I don't expect to necessarily win this one at this point. They get to spend their turn casting Divination, gaining 6 life, and then I still have to actually kill this thing. Or at least bounce it, at which point they get to gain 3 more life and draw another card. What do I need here? Maybe like a Sea Dasher Octopus. I suppose if they go for Uro, I resolve a not even going to be able to resolve a Shore Shark this turn. Opponent's thinking they maybe have a Reclamation they're trying to play here. They've used 2 explosions, so Reclamation by itself isn't necessarily giving them any kind of crazy clock here. There's Reclamation. Alright, let's see if they have the 3rd dispute. If not, we have a shot. Ace of Rainbows. Well, Umori and Slitherwisp don't do much together. Umori does just make the rest of the deck cheaper and is a free 4/5. The question is, how good are the non-creatures you want to play in your Mutate deck? So, of course, Mutate decks do enjoy playing a higher creature count than most decks would. Alright, so if we hit them with Stonecoil Umori, they drop to 9. They get Uro back, they go to 12. I can cast Borrower, Shore Shark, bounce Uro, and that is lethal, technically. If I cast Shore Shark now, I can put them to 5 with Borrower coming in. Go down. What's weird about the resolution? Looks good on my end, but I'm curious what you're seeing. That seems weird. Let's hold Shore Shark. Is it stretched? I can pretty much see the whole screen here. This will definitely be the first time I've tried the actual legit bringing all the counterspell sideboard plan against Reclamation. It'll be interesting to see whether that's enough to hold this deck off. Certainly it's used to playing through counterspells, but we do have a lot of ways to bounce sharks, which is good. But it's definitely been a while since I tried playing a flash Curious Obsession style strategy. I used to play Blue-Black Pirates way back in the day, but not much nowadays. Well, thanks for letting me know, Hoedown. I do appreciate getting a sense for what stuff may or may not be weird on the stream at any given time. Blast Zone is terrifying. Is it? I guess it's not so bad. They don't kill anything meaningful right now. They have the explosion, I'm dead. Can't beat an explosion. Alright, so Reclamation's down. We're going to try and bounce Uro before they untap all their lands. Let's go for it. Alright, that worked. So no Scorching Dragonfire, presumably? Possibly Brazen Borrower from their end. Hey, SME 4142324, thank you for the subscription. Sorry that you're not actually in the Edgewollen right now. It's shark-infested waters here. This is another explosion. Smells like another explosion, chat. Smells like explosion number 3. These 60-card decks are so broken. You have to play such a high density of their best spells. Oh, the deck is definitely not updated, Belgarian. Let me get right on that for you. We'll just update Stream Decker during sideboarding. Alright, well, nothing bad happened to me that turn. That's cool. We drew Brazen Borrower, so maybe they just cycle a shark and we kill them? Let's find out. Blast Zone is on 1. Can't kill anything meaningful. How many sharks is our opponent going to be able to output here? Okay, shark number 1 is here. And before they draw this card, we're just going to say no to the shark, see if this works. Thassa's Intervention could stop it if they have one of those. They did. They're at least going to have to trade the shark off with something. But this makes them able to escape Uro again, so they're going to get to gain another 6 life and have an Uro in play. That seems very bad, but I'm going to let them play out their turn as I update Stream Decker here. See what they feel like doing. Another Reclamation, great. It is nice that these decks give you a lot of time to hang out and do your updates as they untap their mana and such. And I expect that this time they did draw the 3rd explosion. He10, that deck list is not going to be accurate, but we're going to get it updated. Hopefully as we sideboard here. Alright, opponent goes for the full 20. Very nice, very nice. Alright, and you'll be able to see it up on your stream as we pop that up here. Alright, so we actually do some sideboarding this matchup because our creature strategy doesn't seem ideal. Gonna get some negates in. What are we looking to do? Not as much of here. Their only creatures are pretty much fine to bounce. I think Dirge Bat feels like it can be a cut. We can't play Memoria anymore. And what else is coming out? We're going on more of a flash plan than maybe removing Some of the things without flash could be good. Pouncing Shore Shark's a little weird. They don't have a ton of targets. They do have their own sharks. They may bring in some creatures on us here. Could see cutting one shark. Maybe a symbiote. Two Hemophage, and then we're just sort of a flash Sea Dash or Octopus deck that tries to keep them off balance permanently. We lose some of the Mutate power, but Sea Dash or Octopus and Lurrus are really our key cards in the matchup. Could also cut Stone Coil, is not that great a creature against them. Kind of dies to everything, gets bounced by everything. If he cuts two Stone Coils running like that, that might not be enough Mutate targets. Nova Flux. Most people do play Cunning Nightbounder in this deck. I didn't see why. It seems pretty bad against, or pretty bad with Mutate, because it can't mutate. It doesn't make Slitherwisp cheaper. It makes Brazen Borrower slightly cheaper, but on the whole, if you're playing the Umori version of the deck, it doesn't seem like it synergizes really well with whatever else you're doing. But I haven't tried it, so it might be perfectly fine. Ooh, this hand leaves a lot to be desired. This one is better. Still not great, though. Wilderness Reclamation just be having much better cards in it than Blue-Black Mutate could be a problem for us. Yeah, making stuff uncounterable is, I guess, kind of nice. Feels like there's not a lot of counter spells in the meta right now. Maybe if Reclamation takes up even more space, that starts being a thing again. But normally the idea is you make it hard to counter your stuff by just playing 1-drops that pressure the opponent really well, I think is kind of the theme of what's going on here. I'm just going to play this out for 2. I just want to be as aggressive as possible. This hand does not have a lot going on. I would ideally like to hit them for 6 next turn, grow this knight out of Flame Sweep range, and then just hold negate forever would be ideal. Although, I'm going to respect Scorching Dragonfire and not pump immediately.
Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Alright, they go for Growth Spiral. I'm countering it, I think. Nope. Alright, so that felt like Scorching Dragonfire. Given that they held stuff up, the fact that they've seen all my flash creatures means they have to be a bit more nervous here than they might otherwise be. I like this Stone Coil. I also like they can't make sharks quite big enough to take me on yet. Yeah, Nova Flux, it's any... Actually, no, it's just spells with flash, right? So it doesn't even make borrowers bounce cheaper? Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem great. Opponent kind of has to do something. And the thing is Scorching Dragonfire on Stone Coil Serpent. Alright, so here's where I'm a big dummy. They could have Mystical Dispute, but I should still have played the land to try and have a Shore Shark be up here. Now my options are basically pump Knight of the Ebon Legion, get it to a 2/3, negate this, play another 2/2 Serpent, possibly die to Storm's Wrath, but the Scorching Dragonfire may mean they're not doing Storm's Wrath stuff. I think I'm just going to go for the most aggressive option here, try negating this. If they dispute the negate, that's okay, I can just reload with another Stone Coil. Raging Nomad, thanks for the follow. Okay, that worked, that's good. And do I play the other Stone Coil and lose to Storm's Wrath? Can I beat a Storm's Wrath anyway? They untap, they Storm's Wrath, I play a 4/4 Stone Coil. Might be able to win from there. Let's wait. That wait might very much have been wrong. Yep, well there's the sweep, so I'm glad we didn't get swept up by that. Let's just 5/5 Stone Coil. With a shark, this is lethal. Certainly can't counter it, you can't burn it. Can't block it with sharks, so what are you going to do? Can't explode it. Can't block it with Uro. Stone Coil, nice little magic card confirmed. Can be borrowed, but then it comes back. Love negate. Alright, let's smash. Not going to go for shark just yet. Having negate up with mana to pay for dispute feels really powerful. I could just flash the shark in as a 4/3.
We need to become
Could get disputed, but still leaves him with no answers to Serpent, so... Uro is very close to coming out, though. Uro is very close to coming out. This just smells like a mystical dispute. I think I'm going to make him work a little harder for it. Follow hype for Kadeen. Thanks for the follow. Alright, Op's going to take some hits here. We'll just... 5 more damage, great. Knight of the Ebon Legion. We now have them dead through Uro coming out of the graveyard. Shark Typhoon cycles, don't care about that. You're holding up Mystical Dispute mana for my shark, so we're going to wait. Be patient. Nice, alright, chase them out on a mulligan. Take a little more time in sideboarding to try and finish this decklist in Stream Decker. Don't really know how to assign companions here, but that's alright. Feel free to ask other questions about the list as up on the screen. It's almost updated here. And what are the last 2 cards I'm running in this? 4 Stone Coil, 3 Sailor, 3 Knight, 4 Polywog, 3 Borrower, 4 Octopus, 3 Slitherwisp, 4 Insatiable Hemophage. Kadeen, thanks for the kind words. Glad you've been having a good time watching the videos, and congrats on hitting platinum. This hand has a lot of 3-drops, huh? Insatiable Hemophage is not a card we really want in multiples, but it does have a Slitherwisp. I think this opponent mold. I'll try it. Hemophage might be bad enough that this shouldn't be a keep, but I like guaranteed Slitherwisp. Well, Incarcerated, the point is we're not really trying to combo kill. We kept the Hemophages in because they were the best thing we had going, but I think trying to do the multiple mutates on one creature thing against this deck is asking for trouble. Almost updated Strawberry Liquor. Give me 1 second. Negate's a nice pickup. We'll just hold up all the stuff we can do. So the Wisp, Borrower, etc. If they Reclamation, of course, we're not going to let them do that. Some question of whether we should be running Slither Wisp out immediately into potential Traffic. I think we just start with Borrower. Since we have another Borrower, we can bounce a Shark if they go for Sharks. I'd much rather have this disputed than Slither Wisp. The Hemophages do look pretty awful here, though. Wish these were just one of these Wisp Baby Godzilla. Sea Dasher's nice. I like Sea Dasher. Could almost just cast this. But I'm not going to do that yet. Huh, thanks, Strawberry Liquor. Glad to know that the lighting is kind. Okay, is this the time to do Slither Wispy things? Nah, you can have Growth Spiral, that's fine. Radical Cadavra, just killing people. Just dealing a bunch of damage, gaining a lot of life. There are a lot of decks that don't interact well with creatures right now, and Hemophages stack on those. It's definitely the card in the deck that I'm least impressed with. Like, I think it's not great. Alright, love eating a Reclamation there. I love continuing to hit land drops, too. Land drops are great. Land drops are exactly where I want to be. Thanks, opponent. That's so kind of you to say. Could have jammed Slither Wisp there to get it out of Thassa's intervention range, but I'm smelling blood in the water. Wanted to dodge around Essence Scatter a little bit, maybe. I should have just cast Slither Wisp main phase. That was not good play on my part. There's a dispute. Ouch. Well, ran right into that one. Second dispute? Yep, second dispute. Still, we're doing fine here. This is looking like run Sea Dasher Octopus out, protect it with Negate and Borrower. You gonna go to make a Shark? Nope, just castling, that's fine. If we can get Sea Dasher Octopus really rolling, then we should be in really good shape. Uro's in. Uro can't come out of the graveyard yet, though. You can have your Uro. Really is a thrill playing a deck that actually just plays real counter spells against Reclamation, I gotta say. That's a lot of fun. Alright, Sea Dasher coming in. We've got counters covered. We've got everything covered. We've got Scorching Dragonfire covered. Nice try. Sweet. Alright. Well, we get to start drawing cards. We drew another Hemophage, so I guess we're just gonna start stacking these. We are Flame Sweep proof. That's a good one. Some argument for drawing the card before playing the Hemophage. We lost a point of damage there, basically. We would have lost 1 point of damage. Baby Godzilla. I guess I am going to be mutating a lot. Seems worth it to have the Looter, even if it's not a great card by itself. Yeah, Radical, it's really bad. I do agree. Confirmed, not a very good card. So one thing you could do with this deck is just try to find something to do instead of Insatiable Hemophage. For some reason, people are running all the blue-black mutate. I might swap it out after this match. Alright, so before they draw the card off this, we're just gonna... So we could wait for them to draw the card, or we could just bounce it now. They draw a counter, it's very bad if I bounce it, but if I bounce it end of turn, they can't recast it this turn. I think I'm going to risk them drawing the counter here, especially since it looks like they drew another land. Okay. Alright, if they have a counter spell, I feel very silly. But I think it was better not to give them the chance to recast Uro that turn with their mana. Okay, Baby Godzilla's in. Just want to hit the third negate real bad. We get to mutate for 2 mana, hit them for 4 damage. Drew Mystical Dispute. Is that good? Feel like I actually do want the other Hemophage more. Let's just do this. Honestly, keeping Baby Godzilla on top was probably not a great idea. And now I think we just do this. Hit him for 9. And if they can't kill this next turn, any other mutate creature is going to be lethal, and they can't Flame Sweep it. They could Dragonfire it. We'd be real sad. But, look at that. A lot of damage. Thanks, opponent. They're through 1 Scorching Dragonfire. This is an explosion range, but we're getting them the life total where we can maybe punk them out. Alright, Sea Dasher is great, so if they spend all their resources killing Hemophage, we're in pretty solid shape. Uro's not coming back for a while. 2 cards in hand for the opponent. Hopefully neither of them is Storm's Wrath. That would be my preference. Alright. Feels like sharks are probably incoming, but they just literally die if they tap their mana and I get to mutate. So let's attack. Let's see if they're going to make a big shark. If they do it, we just mutate Sea Dasher Octopus and win. Because this deals 9 damage every time we mutate onto it. Actually 12. Actually just 12. There's the shark. Alrighty. Here goes. Insatiable Hemophage totally broken. I take back everything I said about it before. Card's obviously nuts. This is going to hurt. No, it's 12, because the Sea Dasher is another mutate. Great. Alright. Wilderness Reclamation's been cleaned up. Let me put this deck into the deck slot. And might throw another couple into Stream Decker as well, so y'all can have the opportunity. So, there's the deck list. Hemophage gets to stay in the deck for now, of course. Hemophage earned its place. And Nightbot is being updated. Yeah, maybe this deck just doesn't want to Mori at all. Certainly we had a much better time once we weren't doing Mori things anymore, but hey, it was great against a Gruul deck I played against earlier today, and that's a matchup everyone has to be prepared for, right? Gruul? Alright, deck command, temporarily updated, and we'll run in for another game with this one. But before we start new decks, we will add them to Stream Decker. Just make sure to remind me, because I'm very forgetful. So that was a fun start. Got 200 and something ranks off of that. Let's keep going. This is a funny deck, actually. I played against it a couple times on the ladder with Temur Clover, beat it each time, but was like impressed with what it was doing enough that I really wanted to build and play it. Just because even though it was a deck that was trying to stack creatures on top of each other, which is not a good strategy against the Brazen Borrower deck, it was actually doing some reasonable stuff. This hand is not quite reasonable. I feel like Bosh should be a reasonable matchup. There we go. Keep that. And interesting. It's either dump Temple or dump Slitherwisp. Might honestly just be dumping Slitherwisp and trying to curve out and hit mutate stuff. We don't have a lot of flash going in this hand right now. Could even be Stonecoil, I guess. We're playing Temple on 1, we're not playing Stonecoil on 1. So if we're going Baby Godzilla on 2, maybe Slitherwisp on 3, Short Shark, let's actually dump Stonecoil. Bosh is almost certainly going to be mono red, mono black, or Rakdos. Stonecoil is not good against any of those decks. We're going to be up against it a little bit early on. Brazen Borrower seems great. Now we have the 4th land. Yep, Tiki Rev, that's how I feel. I like it. It's very easy to counter if people want to counter it. Alright, looks like Rakdos Bosh. Oven but no cat. I can live with that. So we've got Pouncing Shore Shark coming down next turn if we really want to. Would prefer to go for Slitherwisp first. Baby Godzilla being a good little blocker, unless it dies. No! What a monster. They took Baby Godzilla. So at least Knight's not growing if they spend mana on that. And they're not playing a 3-drop, so I can definitely live with my opponent not playing a 3-drop. Pouncing Slitherwisp possibly ready to ambush the Scorpion this turn. Huh. KQ, Copper Dream, KQ. Alright, so does my opponent have some scary 4-drops? We got 3-drops. We got Woe Strider, Mayhem Devil. What sorts of stuff are we talking? Alright, I will take the Scorpion, thanks. Dropping a bit precariously low, but we do have Insatiable Hemophage to get us back up, you know. Insatiable Hemophage can come save the day. Scorpion down, Borrower available to take care of problems next turn. Another Claim the Firstborn is going to be a little bit late. Alright, another Claim the Firstborn, but that is fine. They kind of have to look for a 5th land right now to try and cast Bosh. And at least this lets us cast Umori pain-free. So are we just doing that? Casting Umori? They can cast Bosh, hit me with Strider, and leave Knight back. We block Strider, we trade with it. We have Borrower plus Shore Shark available. Yeah, I think this is just Umori. Get some free resources. Alright, they did keep the 5th land. It's Bosh time. Now, should we be blocking this Woe Strider? Going to 5 is scary, but we do have a lot of bounce, so they're not necessarily going to hit us again. Next turn we untap, we can go Watery Grave drop to 9. Borrower Bosh, Knight can put us to 5. Cast Borrower, put Shore Shark on Borrower. I think we're kind of duty bound to block. Need some spells, but most of our spells are quite good here. Even Knight of the Ebon Legion is kind of a fantastic blocker against what our opponent's got going on. Pretty funny if they top a swamp here, although I imagine they're looking for creatures right now. More lands! Nice, 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 nice. Alright, so we're going to have to bounce this Bosh. Do we have to bounce this mid-combat? Why don't I just bounce it now, honestly? Like, go ahead and recast this if you want to. I'm bouncing it now. You can sack it to Oven if you want to. I doubt you want to. Didn't think so. Great. So with that gone, I am just going to play out Borrower next turn because I need something to put Shore Shark onto so we don't just die to Bosh. Woe Strider also not quite able to come out yet. They need one more card in the yard. Okay, could really use some Hemophages. Anything with Mutate's really awesome right now. Stone Coil... Actually, Stone Coil is pretty good. Stone Coil lets me block Bosh in perpetuity, which is good. Question is, how big do I make it? If I make it a 1-1, I can just throw the Shark onto it, and that's a good blocker too. Except for I can't do that because then Knight kills me. So, in the interest of not being killed by Knight... Well, no. I put down Stone Coil, the attack with Bosh Knight. They know I'm up to something, but I put the Shore Shark on Stone Coil, bounce the Knight, kill the Bosh for free. I'm down for that. So we're going to try for that Gambit. I think it's the best bet we have. If I try to play this for 5 or something cute like that, I'm just dead to them going Swamp, kill me with Knight of the Ebon Legion, plus Bosh attacking. So we're going to hope they have to go, and they feel obligated to go with both creatures. Still looking for Hemophages, too. Alright, land. Everybody coming in? Okay, opponent did not suspect what we were going to do to them here. Maybe. So we block that. We pounce. Are they going to start pumping Knight? Oh my goodness, if they start pumping Knight, that's incredible news. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Do it, pump that Knight. Pump that Knight. Alright, alright, alright. I do want to kill this Bosh, so I'm not going to let them potentially bluff me. So we're in a position now where almost all of our spells are very good, but we do need a spell. Flooded a little bit this game. But honestly, considering that we've gone through, what, a total of 6 actual spells, we're doing a reasonable job, I think. So Knight's gone. Bosh gets eaten for free. Woe Strider can come back. Opponent can sack Bosh to the oven. I think they're trying to figure out whether this still has protection from multicolored. It very much still does. Alright, that's good, that's good. So Dirgebat would be insane. Insatiable Hemophage would be very good. Sea Dasher Octopus would be very good. Mayhem Devil is very bad news. Pouncing Shore Shark is good. Yeah, I think we just put it all back, opponent. They can sack a food to kill Borrower. So we're not mutating onto Borrower. We're just going to mutate onto this Shark. Bounce all their creatures, hit them for 5. Incarcerated Genesis, I've already been QQ'd by someone today. We don't need to keep QQing me, do we now? So Mayhem Devil does mean that Cat is terrifying. But we're still in this. Every mutate creature I draw from now on bounces my opponent's entire board. I do play a reasonable number of mutate creatures. Could have attacked first, maybe. I don't think it would have made a big difference. Well, I'm glad I created a meme in the space of a single match last night. Sometimes that's all you can ask for. Another Serpent would also be pretty solid against Mayhem Devil. But I'm just proud of the deck for keeping this one close. Night Devil, opponent's betting that I don't have more mutate. Second Oven doesn't do anything of note. And Brazen Borrower, huh? That one isn't quite where I wanted to be. Not quite. I am going to attack, trying to hold back and fight these two, and my opponent can just oven me out. It's not going to work so well. I think we just bounce the Devil. If we bounce the Devil here, they can Knight me, hit me to 2 life. I guess if they sack the Devil to oven, they can then Knight me down to 1. But it's not lethal. So we are going to try and theft the Devil. Devil's gone, sure. Still not going to let on this as a land. Maybe I should, if we have like Slither Wisp or something. Definitely new to playing this deck, and a lot of my patterns are not set up yet. So I could be punting all over the place. But the opponent's in a state of terrible indecision here. Wouldn't be super surprised if they just tried to hit me for 7, so they could cast Devil and just kill me next turn. It's got a good chance of working. Really, the only thing that stops this from working is Insatiable
We
Hemophage.
need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Nah, Knight gets me, okay? Alright, Insatiable Hemophage I think wins the game. There may be other cards that win the game, but I'm not sure what they are. Ooh! I think that's one of them. Pretty sure that's one of them. So, yeah. Great. Excellent. So let's just think about timing a little bit here. I throw this down, I bounce Knight, kill Devil, hit my opponent for 5. They sack Devil to kill Borrower. Jund Bear, thanks for the follow. I could try to hit them and see if... Actually, I should attack first, right? If I attack, is there any way they block with Devil? If they don't block with Devil, I put them to 4. They maybe aren't willing to sack anything, and then I hit them with Batra later. The problem is if I attack with Shore Shark, they block with Devil, sack it, kill Borrower. I guess I just get to kill Knight in that case. Let's just attack. Commando Zero! Cool, you played me. What's your username? I'm curious. Was I on the Mutate deck at that point? Were you the Reclamation player? Alright, Protection. Love Protection. So intuitive, so great. Alright, so we're just going to slap this down before they get to untap with things to sacrifice. Have exactly enough mana. Pro multicolor. Even I forget what's under here. Alright, so we're bouncing Knight. Getting rid of Mayhem Devil. They can sack this, kill Borrower. And then they're pretty much forced to sack food tokens. Ah, Commander, you're Paladin. Well, congrats on hitting rank 36. Sorry about what we did to you there. Tough last game. So Devil's gone, Knight's bounced. So we're not actually out of the woods just yet. We still need to hit another spell here, I think, because they can just go cast Knight, sack a food token, gain some life. They could also Woe Strider. Woe Strider's lethal here. Yeah, Maush, that would be nice. I understand why it comes out as the default, though. If they drew a land and they can Woe Strider and Knight and sack a food token, that's real bad. I guess it's not so bad. It just means they need to draw another Mutate creature. Judith the Scourge Diva. Okay, so they got the food sack. No, drew the swamp, chat. Ah, we drew the swamp and now we're dead. Unfort. Still. I felt like I was proud of what the deck managed to accomplish there. And now I think I dump Umori and just bring in the sideboard plan. This is a Mayhem Devil deck. Pretty uninterested in Brazen Borrower. Pretty interested in Cry of the Carnarium. We're doing Cry of the Carnarium. Knight and Sailor both become a little bit less exciting. Sea Dasher becomes a little bit less exciting. Does Shadow Spear become exciting? Do I like Shadow Spear? I might like Shadow Spear. Like Hemophage, like Shark. I like not going too far down on... maybe just 3 Cry, actually. Drawing the second one's usually not that useful. They have a lot of... nah, I want all 4 Cry. Could cut a Sea Dasher, and we're just maybe planning to beat them more by just hitting them with big flyers and killing their stuff than doing the card advantage game. Could cut all the Sailors because they just die to Mayhem Devil. That would look like cut Sailors, bring in Heartless Acts, and we're at 60 cards. Let's just do that. See how that feels. Yep. Down for this. Clear the board early, Sea Dasher them late. Stone Coil, yep, sure. So one slight issue is that we could get drill bitted at some point. So there's an interesting question of, do I cast Stone Coil for 2, lets me block Knight and not get drill bitted. Does mean that I have to attach the Octopus before I use Cry of the Carnarium. Other option would just be to like hold back, hope they play some 2-drops and don't get Moose Drill Bit. What are the odds they have a drill bit here versus just playing out some more stuff?
Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
I think I'll wait. Kevlar Man, yeah, I'm trying it out. The Red Helix, thanks for the follow. Kevlar Man, aside from like weirdo Temur Clover type decks, my favorite thing to do is generally to what's my favorite thing to do? My favorite thing is just to do like, tempo things to people. Serrated Scorpion, don't be drill bit, don't do it, have a heart. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, yeah. Adios. That was very satisfying, chat. That was very satisfying. Good, Witch's Oven. Sweet. Nice. Love it. Very cool. Alright, so if I play Stone Coil, it's obviously Kame the Firstborn bait. Think I'm still kind of honor-bound to do it. Do I make it a 4-4 or do I make it a 2-2 and make it so I can flash Octopus? I'll make it a 2-2. It can be a 4-4 instant speed anyway. Yep, Kevlar Man. I'm not sure if Umori in the main deck's the best thing. It's felt okay so far. I could see moving toward more of just a flashy deck. There's the Claim the Firstborn. So sad. You got me. Ouch. Wonder how big our Sea Dasher Octopus stack is going to get this game. We're going to have a Sea Dasher on a... Oh no, it's Cauldron Familiar! Darn, opponent just with the perfects. Alright, well, looks like we're going to be doing separate Sea Dashers today. Maybe they'll attack him with its Cauldron Familiar and let me just eat it. That would be satisfying. I think Hemophage plus a bunch of Mutate should let us beat the snot out of this cat plan, which is nice. There's Bosh. Cool. So we'll take 2 off this cat. So we can drop in Octopus here. And then we'll just Heartless Act the Bosh later. Cool. Actually, what do I want to do right now? Maybe I just Hemophage the Octopus right now? If I Heartless Act the Bosh, they sack it, well, they'd have to sack... If they sack it, I draw cards, which is good for me. If they sack the cat in response, Bosh goes, but the cat can come back in and block Sea Dasher. Now I should Heartless Act first. See if they want to, let this go. Interesting. Alright, so they sack this, which lets me actually draw a card. I like drawing cards. They get 2 food. But I could even draw 2 cards. I could just slap Octopus on Octopus, draw 2. Then Hemophage starts to drain intense amounts of life, but I'm also, yeah, I'm just going to draw 2 cards. certainly are ways this goes south. Would hate to see Mayhem Devil. But I like Batra. Batra's good. Mostly because it gives C-Dasher flying. One has Mayhem Devil, that's a problem. Judith, that's a problem. Woe Strider, I'm slightly annoyed. Mostly if I can keep this alive, just put Hemophage on it, I shouldn't lose. Oof. Alright. Mayhem Devil is a problem. We knew that was going to be an issue, and we did set up to get punished for it. Punished by it. Even if we put Hemophage on, Hemophage also would have died, though. So what I'm looking for right now is another Heartless Act, a Cry the Canary to get rid of the cat. If they attack in next turn in a lazy fashion, we can maybe get them with Batra, just blocking. Another Shark, huh? Everything is expensive. Everything in my hand is so expensive. And they can just sack foods to clear out all my blockers? This is really bad, actually. This is very bad. Like, the actual best I can do is try to ambush the devil, force them to use some food, try to do it again. Yeah, Hemo can't get claimed. That is a true thing. Oh, goodness. Woe Strider means they can, like...
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the
I think
goal.
we might have lost this one. I think this deck might be kind of weak to Mayhem Devil if it can't bring enough Heartless Acts. Darn. Opponent's hand was very good this game. We cried them, and they just had Cat Oven Devil to immediately recover. So not a lot you can do. So we have to Shark this in. They sack Cat, Token or something to get rid of it in response. Hit me with Devil. Brixton Gun, thanks for the follow. Definitely down to play another match with this. This like felt pretty sweet and interactive, even though Mayhem Devil kind of butchers creature decks as a rule. If I hit the other Heartless Act right now, we're very much in the game. Or like a Stonecoil Serpent, which has protection from Mayhem Devil. Then we can mutate the Batra onto that. Maybe we get somewhere. I did cut some Stonecoils, though, I think. Alright, so with Cat in the Yard, they can deal 3 damage at instant speed by bringing this out and ovening. Is there any way we're not dead? Can't mutate Hemophage successfully onto anything. Can cast Batra, mutate Octopus onto it. Actually, that works. That works, that works, that works. Alright, so we cast Batra. We hope they get a little too aggressive and try to bring the cat out at some point. The second they do anything with the cat, we immediately mutate the C-Dasher onto Batra and kill their devil. And then we're not technically out of the game yet. Here they come. Great. What's devil targeting? Batra? Alright, so we do this. Actually, let's wait. You got it. We're going to make him sack the cat first. So that they are not sacking the devil with their oven. And I think we can't go for it now, though, is the problem. So they need to bring the cat out again. Might have messed up the timing there. I'm hoping they continue to mess up the timing. Great. They continue to mess up the timing. If they had just untapped and had 3 sacks out again, we were toast. Oh, no, they can sack the food again in response. Darn. All right. Actually, we never had a chance here, right? They always had enough food to just do this and kill me. Yeah, we're out. Might have screwed up that turn. I think we were probably dead anyway, facing down active Cat Oven with what we had in hand. I do like the way the deck handled, though. Like, we had reasonable chances in both games, which is not necessarily what I would have predicted from the outset. Let's try another match. Lots of solidly ranked folks. Getting good competition tonight. Yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked. You'd think I would never forget about Cat sacking multiple foods out, but I don't actually see that much Cat these days. This hand, against Lurrus. Everybody doing the sack stuff. Well, we've got the ingredients of a very impressive Mutate stack, if we think the Mutate stack can survive against Lurrus. We have a Borrower to stop Priest for 1 turn. Let's try it. Vulnerable to a lot of stuff. Alright, it's just cycling too. If it's just cycling, then the calculations change a lot, because it's pretty easy to get Octopus to live against that deck. Do need lands. But cycling feels like it should be pretty reasonable, since they just don't have much disruption for the Mutate stacks. And land is perfect. Love seeing lands there. Insatiable Hemophage also gives us the life gain to keep up with Zenith Flare, which is pretty great. Just cast the Fox, great, so lots of damage coming into us. That's a 4th copy of Sea Dasher Octopus, folks. 4th copy of Sea Dasher Octopus has been called. Huh. Alright, I think that the name of the game here is going to be Balls to the Wall, cast Borrower. Try our very best to mutate onto it enough times to not die. Really didn't want the 4th Sea Dasher Octopus, but to be fair, I probably shouldn't have kept a hand with 3 Sea Dasher Octopi. That was also probably a pretty bad idea. I could just bring in the Octopus, block the Rescuer. Yeah, I think that's actually the play. I think trying to do a Mutate stack when like a single Go for Blood just evaporates me doesn't really work very well. Let's just... Dope. That was the wrong step, chat. That was the wrong step. I had passed combat already. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Alright, that was not good. At least we get to eat a token. Jeepers. Alright, I could also mutate Hemophage to try and stop Fox from coming in again. One's gonna let me hit, that's good. Slither Wisp is not so good. Alright, so we're gonna start a big Hemophage stack here. Yep, Octopus just popping his head in to say hi. Why do I even bother? This is definitely a hard deck to play with the stream going. I'm wondering if they'll forget this has Death Touch and try to fight it with a Fox. That would be satisfying. They're hovering over it a lot, though, so I think they're going to remember it as Death Touch. We're also taking like 10 damage here, so I think that Hemophage is not going to be quite quick enough. If I draw a land, and I can go Sea Dasher on Hemophage, Sea Dasher on Hemophage, we might get somewhere. Possibly. We take 10, we heal for 8. Is a thing. We would need the land, though. Did not hit the land. So now I think it's got to be Hemophage, heal for 6. Hope we somehow survive the next turn. They don't have the 4th land for Zenith Flare yet. But we do have to just block this Fox. Yeah, maybe with a 4th land we would have actually been okay in this game, to be fair. Yep, alright, that'll do it. Big question of whether to move Wamori against this deck or not. The sideboard cards we have for it are basically Cry, Spear, maybe Spear, at least. Spear basically helping us stay out of flare range, but it's possible I just want to be doing Wamori stuff and just counting on Insatiable Hemophage to keep us out of range. It's green, Kevlar man. Ow. Ow! Alright, well we keep this because it has a potential if we get a land to just go Stonecoil into Sea Dasher. Stonecoil into Sea Dasher can steal games. Not going to punish the deck for having pretty weak draws here. We are running 26 lands, which is probably the right number. But I'm definitely being penalized here for not playing a deck where all the cards just have Cycling 1. Fox on 1. Land. Well, I will reluctantly count it. Reluctantly, I will count it.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight.
We do have a borrower to keep this Fox under control. We're not blocking it, so we might as well attack. Hey there, Royce. Second Fox is more of an issue. Love the mull into double Fox. So what am I even doing with my life here? We do have the option to go Baby Godzilla, then mutate. Baby Godzilla basically chumps a Fox for a single turn. And the loot doesn't matter much because I'm definitely keeping Brazen Borrower anyway. So I think we're attacking, putting Sea Dasher on. Opponent's real dopey and block Stone Cove for some reason. We get the Sea Dasher win. We did not. Should have played the island there first so I had a chance of hitting Knight of the Ebon Legion. Basically, we're looking to get Pouncing Shore Shark going here. Spectral Sailor, not awful. Chumps Fox, which is something. If they start keeping Foxes back and not just pounding our face in to try and stop Sea Dasher, that would be really good. Would appreciate that. Tiki Rez, I don't think we want Unmordigo in this build. I think we're much more of a flash aggro deck. We're not trying to tap out to resolve a sorcery. I think the decks that Unmordigo is good against are decks we can handle already. Those are some very large Foxes. Opponent, I do admit those are very large Foxes. Not going to chump yet because we're just going to be chumping them later. So far I'm not seeing red mana to cast Crashing Footfall or Footfall Crater. Second Baby Godzilla is kind of a heinous draw. Ah well. Land? Alright, land means I can actually cast another chump blocker this turn, which is cool. Hold up a borrower. If I can find Insatiable Hemophage, I might be able to stay out of Zenith Flare range for a little while. That would be great. Ooh, just the 2-mana Cycler. That's really good. I wonder if they're just going to go for the kill. 4 planes. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And this is Sailor blocking, not Baby Godzilla, because Baby Godzilla's looting is kind of useful. You want to cycle again, opponent? Be very amused. Alright, they did not cycle again, so we will just clean up the Fox. I agree, Nordic Rust. That sounds right to me. Okay, hit another land. We've got another Baby Godzilla do some chump block stuff. Let's just keep hitting them. Alrighty, 4 Cyclers in the graveyard right now for them. Not dead to Footfall Crater. Kinda dead to Zenith Flare if they have one more Cycler. Rallo87, thanks for the follow. Sorry I missed you there for a few minutes. Okay, Big Fox, Little Fox. So I block this one with Umori, I force a bunch of cycling out of them. If I just block these two with Baby Godzilla, they have to cast a creature of some kind, and I might just get them with a... I think I'm going to force them to cast a creature here. I guess they can cast Lurrus for free. Oh wow, they let me live with Baby Godzilla. I'm into that. Lurrus Rescuer, Lurrus Stinger, what's up? Lurrus Fire... Oh, that's rude. No, I needed that to win, opponent. I needed that to win. Oh, never mind, I win anyway. No, I don't. Lurrus... Alright, well... It's gonna be a close one. We get to bounce this thing. Take our opponent to actual 1. Darn. Close, 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 close. I think it's just jamming with Umori holding back these two blockers. Hoping they don't have Zenith Flare. Wait, I get to cast 2 Borrowers, right? So I don't need to attack with just... I don't even need to attack with Umori, technically. Yes, I do. Alright, attack with Umori, leave these 2 back as blockers. We get to cast 2 Borrowers. Time Ghoul, thanks for the follow. If they have Zenith Flare, we just die, of course, as always. But still, not a bad performance considering we missed that untapped land drop on turn 2 and had to do the Serpent thing a little bit late. Yep. Alright. I do feel like the cycling match should be fine. I think those were some pretty... There's probably a pretty atrocious keep for me in Game 1. And then Game 2, the draws did not line up super well. Let's run this for at least one more match. It's been feeling strong every time. Just, sometimes the difference between feeling strong and actually winning the game. And an important skill of Magic is noticing when the deck feels strong but doesn't actually win the games. So we're keeping an eye on you. Yeah, Maximilian, cycling is not easy from the Clover side. It feels pretty even to me. Down for this. Got lands, got spells. Don't have any broken combos, but, you know, lands and spells is a pretty good combo as combos go. I honestly think this is just Serpent on 1. We're probably not going to end up bouncing anything on turn 2 with Borrower, but we could just draw a Octopus. We have 4 copies of that in the deck. And given that we're just going to be mutating on this thing anyway, its original size doesn't matter that much. Arboreal Grazer, yikes, that can block Stone Cold Serpent. Pretty clean, pretty clean. This is definitely a matchup I'm interested in seeing. If this matchup is hard, then I don't want to be playing this deck, because I have better decks I could be playing that have hard matchups against Temur Elemental, Leorian. On the plus side, there's a decent chance to get some use out of Brazen Borrower here, bouncing a Leafkin Druid, for example. Please don't cast Risen Reef. Please cast Leafkin Druid. Thank you. Okay. Real question is, do I bounce Grazer? Huh. Turn 3, we just cast Borrower. Turn 4, we put it... Yeah, I'm just going to bounce Grazer. Between Shore Shark and the Batra, I kind of have all the bounces I'm going to need for the future game, so I'm just going to get a little bit of extra chip damage in. I feel like this matchup should actually be reasonably good. You have Disruption that lines up well with their creature-based defensive plans. Cavalier of Thorns looks really bad against pouncing Shore Shark. They don't have a lot of removal. Conan, nice job dealing 120. I'm not sure I've ever actually dealt that much damage in a game with Timur. But yeah, Maximilian Soul Guide Lantern on the board helps a lot. Ah, Mass Manipulation this side. Yeah, Mass Manipulation does seem pretty good in the games where your opponents are getting to that kind of life total. Is my opponent running Mystical Dispute? I am totally okay if one of the cards in their hand is Mystical Dispute right now. Great, great, great. Okay, so... I think this is just going to be the Umori turn. I could Shore Shark. If I Shore Shark bounce the Grazer, I hit my opponent for 8. I am worried that they might be running removal of some kind in their hand if I try to do the Shore Shark onto Serpent. Actually, I'm super down to just hit my opponent for 8. Let's get him dead. If they do have Dispute, I'll be sad. Alright, they were just running Mystical Dispute. So it goes. But we've got Shark into Batra. Omnath killing Borrower is a little sad, but can't touch Serpent. Many of my opponent's cards cannot touch Serpent. Okay. So because we're bouncing Omnath, we're going to let ourselves get blocked by Grazer. Mutate second Shark. Then we get to just punch through the Grazer. And it's looking pretty good. Lands and spells are both great here. Omnath accomplishes very little. And yeah, land works, so we're just going to go with... We should actually just attack here, right? So if I mutate Batra now, I can bounce Leafkin, kill Omnath. Yeah, I should actually just Batra now. I don't want my opponent drawing cards off of their lands here. Alright, so first we get the bounce trigger, going after Leafkin. Then we get the kill trigger, goes after Omnath. Yeah, someone was asking about Insatiable Hemophage before. One note about Hemophage, I think it's mostly there just to trigger additional Shore Sharks, and yikes! Alright, opponent's card in hand was Genesis. Did they just get that off the top? I think that may have been a top deck. If they hit Agent of Treachery, I'm really sad. Uro is more manageable than Agent of Treachery would be, but they do get a lot of scries and draws here. Oh my goodness. Chat, was that a top deck? Am I misremembering? I think that was just one they ripped off the top. Woof. Alright, Sea Dasher Octopus is cute. It adds 1 damage to the board, which is not very much. I think I would much rather use it to do some mutate stuff and kill the opponent's stuff. Let's put him to 3. I think Umori is better than drawing 1 card off Spectral Sailor, since we have a lot of removal for their creatures. And we're just going to hope that they didn't rip an Agent of Treachery off the Omen. Okay. Yep. To be fair, a lot of things we can beat. We can't beat Agent of Treachery, probably. But a lot of things we can beat. Another Uro we can beat. Opponent shocked in the land, which is something. Come on, we can actually beat Agent. We can definitely beat Agent. We can beat Uro coming out of the graveyard, being joined by a Leafkin Druid. I think we might be able to beat anything. We do have to be very careful of Mystical Dispute. Alright, Uro's here. We're just gonna play around Mystical Dispute very carefully. Now we will Octopus. Yeah, alright. So, deck did well in the early game and got to a position that was strong enough we could win through 2 Genesis Ultimatum off the top in a row. That was pretty good. Do we want Umori here? Is Mystical Dispute important enough? Mystical Dispute seems very important, yes. Heartless Act might also be important. No, we've got Dirge Bat plus Shore Shark. I don't think we need Heartless Act that much. But Mystical Dispute seems really key. Otherwise, Agent of Treachery is very bad for our Mutate stacks. So we cut Umori, we add some Mystical Disputes. What else am I cutting? Spectral Sailor gets blocked by Arboreal Grazer and is kind of Omnath food. Let's see, cutting some of these. Maybe all of these bring in 1 Heartless Act. Is there anything else that's kind of bad against their whole setup? Brazenbar is actually okay. Knight is not as vulnerable to Omnath stuff and works better into the late game than Sailor does. Actually, it's a pure swap. We'll do that. Hey Tenacious, good to see you here tonight. Yep, you definitely keep the turn 2 Octopus hands in this deck, because otherwise what are you even doing with your life? Our turn 2 Octopus does get shut off by Leafkin Druid pretty badly here, so if they have Leafkin Druid into Omnath, we're really sad. But if their turn 2 play is Growth Spiral, and they don't have Mystical Dispute, everything's great. If they have Scorching Dragonfire, everything is bad again. Oh, this smells like Mystical Dispute, but I'm gonna go for it next turn anyway because we have 3 copies of Sea Dasher Octopus, so something's gotta work sometime. Ooh, Stonecoil Serpent does give me another option though. So we can either go for Sea Dasher Octopus, get blanked hard by Mystical Dispute. Let's do that, actually. They might not even have it. They might not even have it. They didn't even have it. Great. Curious Obsession activated. Got the Dragonfire? Nope. Okay. Wonder what this is. Well, let's find out. Flame Sweep. Alright, that's a magic card. You got it. Oh yeah, Panther Reloaded. You can tell I'm very new to this deck because I forget that my cards have abilities. Yes, obviously should have pumped there. I just completely forgot it was even a Knight of the Ebon Legion, as did my opponent. My opponent played that Flame Sweep with such confidence. No, absolutely a punt. Here, I'm gonna punt myself for that. There. That is a command, folks. Feel free to use it. It's there to be used. Playing that land before combat, also a punt. I wish I could have had the Scry land here. Yep, Tenacious, they next leveled me real hard. There's Cavalier Thorns, the card that we explicitly do not care about, because it's going away. Might even be able to beat an Agent of Treachery here, famous last words. Ooh, darn. Alright, so you see the punts compounding. What I should have done last turn was wait to draw the card, play Temple, play this as a 1-1. Then I would have 5 mana, which means I could Shore Shark through a Mystical Dispute. Right now I cannot Shore Shark through a Mystical Dispute, so I'm forced to just try and cast this and hope it works. If it does work, I win the game. But nope, the opponent had Mystical Dispute, so I might very well lose the game because of that punt. Well, because of multiple compounding punts. Do I keep Slitherwisp? I'll keep Slitherwisp. And now this Cavalier just shuts me down, so I can't attack through it. If they have Agent of Treachery now, we are very sad. Risen Reef we can beat. Risen Reef doesn't matter. This can't block the Stone Coils. Omnath also can't block the Stone Coils. Scampering Scorcher would be fine, because we have Trample on all our creatures. Cavalier of Thorns is attacking. That's terrifying. Is this Storms? Oh, it's Yorion. That makes a lot of sense. Alright, Yorion actually doesn't matter. Well, our opponent draws a lot of cards here, but I think they're dead, because only one of their creatures can block Stonecoil Serpents. And that creature is going back to their hand. Oh, alright, so opponent does lots of things, does lots of things, does lots of things. They could have another Mystical Dispute, but we actually do. We saved our Mystical Dispute for this exact moment. Mutate onto Serpent, this is going to be 11 damage, unblockable, and it's over. Alright, Blue-Black Mutate beating the Scourge of the format. Opponent now realizing that nothing can block anything. Alright, cool. So we overcame multiple punts to win there. We'll try to have to overcome fewer punts to win. And yeah, Blue-Black Mutate looking kind of good there. Let's do one more match and try to get the 3-2 with it. Actually, let me make some adjustments real quick first. Just want to poke at a couple things. Actually, so Sailor versus Knight's tricky. I'm sort of in like the 3-3 split right now because I don't know which one's better. Sailor's better with Slitherwisp. Knight's a better Mutate target most of the time. I do like having lots of Flash available in the deck, but we don't have a ton of spare mana. I think we're supposed to be on 4 Sailor 2 Knight. If we're on 4 Sailor 2 Knight, I should probably be on an extra island over a swamp. Actually, we got Slitherwisps in the deck, so never mind. Feeling good about the rest of these numbers. Dirgebat as a 2-of seems fine. Okay. Minor tweak. Yeah, I don't want to. I played against Mono White Auras earlier, and it did just seem extremely boring. Also, this deck does beat the snot out of Mono White Auras. We'll say that. Unedited! Wow, all the good players out tonight. Well, a lot of Baby Godzillas, no Mutate. We get like one Mutate card, this hand explodes. If we don't, it just does nothing for a long time. We can't even cast Humori. Not into it, not into it. Yep, immediately punished with this, which I think I'm forced to keep. Bottom a Sure Shark. 26 lands. But this is the thing about the deck. The deck has a lot of low power level cards. It requires a lot of synergy. So unlike Temur Clover, where your synergy deck but your individual cards are very powerful, the fact that it's possible in this deck just to get like Serpent, Baby Godzilla, and be forced to mulligan even though you have a 4-land hand is a strike against it. Cycling again, sure. Okay, we're hitting lands. We get to keep playing Magic. And Baby Godzilla means if I hit a land next turn and can just Shore Shark the Fox, we're actually off to a really strong start. Stonecoil plus Serpent just going to beat up our opponent. It is nice that we're playing a 2-color deck, so we get to play a very high land count. Or very high untapped land count, that is. Just one more land in deck. I swear I won't ask you for anything else tonight. Nope. Alright. What's the plan? think we just put as much power and toughness on the table as we can. And try to goldfish our opponent right back. Lollyogre Hemophage. When the deck has been functional, Hemophage has been fine. It's looked awkward a bunch of times as like a 3-drop that we couldn't use at all, but I think Hemophage is probably the thing you want in this deck. You basically just need Mutate cards to like do the theme of the deck. And Hemophage is the best black Mutate creature by a fair amount, just because it's cheap mostly. Alright, we drew Sea Dash or Octopus, which is not nothing. See if we can maybe eat a token. Great, we get to eat a token blocking. Don't mind that. We even get to loot, which is fun. Actually, I should have done that before combat, probably because of the loot. Alright, so we're getting rid of Sailor, and now we actually have a shot, like a real shot. Opponent takes a hit, we get a card. Borrower, another Serpent. Alright, so now we actually have to think carefully through these turns. If I put Hemophage on Octopus, we drain for 2. We get to loot again. We do create a creature that's very vulnerable to getting murdered by a Zenith Flare next turn. Actually, opponent can't Zenith Flare, it'd be a 4/4. We could also throw this on Stonecoil Serpent, which gives me 2 bigger creatures. Opponent loses a bit less life, but we've got 2 pretty strong cards to mutate onto. I think I want to spread the love around a little bit. We'll go with Stonecoil here. Looting away. Other Stonecoil, I suppose. Pro Zenith Flare, right, chat, right. Good old Stonecoil Serpent. Good old Stonecoil Serpent. Love that card. So fair. Alright, Flourishing Fox is not going to do a lot here. Opponent does get lots of tokens, but we have multiple tramplers, so the tokens are not effective blockers. Alright, creatures coming in. We've got some flash. So our opponent has lots of ways to block that just get them immediately killed. Let's see if they block in one of the ways that gets immediately killed. Alright, opponent blocked in one of the ways that got them immediately killed. You'll love to see it. Trample, baby. Trample. Even if they weren't immediately dead, this Sea Dash or Octopus, I think we can mutate again and just deal a bunch more damage. You'd love to see it. Alright, that was good, that was good. Mild punt one of those turns, kept a 1-lander, still fought through the cycling deck. And now we decide about whether we're going to do any sideboarding or not. Cryotheraparium is always tempting, because if we don't have Stonecoil Serpent, Valiant Rescuer is a pain in the butt. Shadow Spear for life gain is always tempting, but it is very slow. I think we just stick with what we've got here. Try to just get the good curves. So, things to remember. Stonecoil Serpent cannot be Zenith Flared. We're going to remember that. Yeah, a little heavy on mutate targets versus mutate tours, but we've got a Shore Shark, which is necessary against the Flourishing Fox deck. Do we start with Knight or Temple? Laying out Knight honestly doesn't do a lot this turn. I'm just going to Temple. Get that to the bottom. And Shore Shark oh, you mean like putting Shore Shark on a Stonecoil? Yeah, we'll admit the deck, that is a pretty good combo for the deck. I think it has multiple paths to have pretty good hands. Unfortunately, all our paths to do reasonable things are kind of getting blocked by these foxes right now. These foxes are just going to kill us mercilessly and we have no chance against them. That's my strong suspicion, at least. I think I want to develop the board a bit more. I'm willing to take some hits off the foxes, and then borrow one of them, and hopefully shore shark the other one, and then keep them at bay, maybe, somehow. Didn't need to play Sailor there, should have held as an instant, obviously. But I do like my F6 value. Big fan of F6 value here. Brazen Borrower. It's kind of funny how that card has gotten so much better recently, just between foxes and Luca targeting tokens. You find a lot of use for this thing sometimes. Alright, Tact 1 cool, thanks for the follow. Alright, so I guess opponent missed their land drop. Do I hold back Knight in hopes of holding back the foxes? Couple options here. Bounce with Borrower, play Stonecoil for 1 is an obvious option. Just hit the opponent and pump. And getting Knight to a 2-3 is not that important. We'll keep it simple. I think the Brigade of super unimpressive creatures might actually be enough to fight them off here. Do I hold back Sailor to chump? Yeah, Stonecoil is much better than Sailor as a mutate target, so I will hold back Sailor to chump. Yep, that's it, Tenacious. Borrower does fizzle Luca very well. That's one of the reasons that Clover has an excellent Luca matchup. Ooh, opponent is not gonna stand for this Stonecoil hanging out, huh? They don't like it. Get out of here, stupid fox. Fox is coming in. You know what? I'm not blocking that. I'm not blocking that. I'm going to block that later. Obviously putting ourselves close to Zenith Flare range, but I think that will be fine, probably. We're not going to be in Zenith Flare range exactly next turn. Another Knight's great, so I just get to be hyper-aggressive. Oh wait, this costs 4, because I don't have a... Is this just Umori this turn? Let's see. So I don't need to Shore Shark the other Fox. If I Shore Shark the other Fox, we can attack, get in for 7 damage with that on Serpent, put the opponent to 10. We don't have any cool tricks to play the turn after that, though. If I attack and just cast Umori, we could die to, like, Cycle, Go for Blood. And Umori's forced to chump block the Fox, so I'd want to hold at least 1 creature back if I were going for Umori. I think we're just going Shore Shark Hyper Aggro here, because that gives me a bunch of different mutators I could draw to effectively win the game. So we're not going to die to Fox this coming turn, unless they are splashing blue for Starling development and I didn't realize it. Not going to die to Zenith Flare. Rescuer into attack with Fox does mean I'm dead to the Zenith Flare now. Let's see if I draw a bomb like Insatiable Hemophage. Does that do it? Insatiable Hemophage, I still have a 5/4 Trampler. I drain my opponent for 2. Hemophage I don't think kills them, but it does make it so I don't necessarily die to Zenith Flare. In fact, I can't die to Zenith Flare if I do this. So this seems like the clear play. Hackmage, you've been playing that Jeskai thing? That looks real fun. That looked real fun. Bounce Rescuer token. Rescuer can block Knight of the Ebon Legion. So we do this, we force them to chump with that token, I think. Yeah, get rid of that. They're at 8, so they're dead unless they block Knight of the Ebon Legion. And I think that seals it with night coming up here. Cheap chump blockers for the win. Yeah, we might even play that on Stream Hack Mage, the Aaron Barrich Winota Fires Brew thing. Alright, yeah, this deck can close pretty fast. That was a real impressive win over a high-ranked cycling player. I'll take it. Great. Alright, that's Blue-Black Mutate for the night. So we're actually going to run a poll to see what we're playing next. And I'll show you what a couple of options are. So we got a bunch of decks here. We've got the deck we were just discussing, Aaron Barrich's Jeskai Pile, taken from the Arena Decklist Twitter, which is a great source for interesting deck ideas. Basically, it's just taking the old Winota strategy that I used to play way back in the day before it was cool. That is a literal day one of the Ikoria pre-release. We've got the agents, we've got the Rakdos to hit off Winota, we got the War Bosses, the Executioners, the Fibblethip Charming Prince combo, the Raise the Alarms. On top of that, we've got Fire's Invention, which goes with Kenrith, which we were playing anyway because we've got Winota. It's a good Winota hit. We've got Fire's Yorion to generate lots of mana, and then we've got a super spicy Fae of Wishes sideboard. Actually, not very spicy. I appreciate how unambitious this Fae of Wishes sideboard is. It's got an Inspired Ultimatum into Casualties of War as Fun Fires hits, and the rest of it's just like removal and stuff. Removal and counters, Red Cat melees. Just like jam two decks together, see what happens. I'm not going to touch a card of it, just want to play it. That's one option. Good old Temur Clover. That old standby is another option. We tried Adventure Simples for a bit. I'm going to go back testing Of One Mind for tonight. Still don't know which of those is better, or if either of them is what I want to be doing. Nothing really spicy here, it's just the deck that y'all know and love. Last option is something I brewed up that I think is fun to play. I wouldn't call it competitive. Like, I think it's probably pretty bad into specifically Temur Elementals, but it has been a blast to play so far, which is Yorion Nethroi. So, this was my favorite card from Ikoria, maybe, when I saw the previews. I wanted to make this card work so badly, but it seemed so bad in all of the, like, kind of normal shells you played in. But I think squashing into Yorion might actually just work fine. We've got Skull Prophet, Glowspore Shaman, Mire Triton, and Merfolk Seeker Keeper to help us mill. Uro is our reward for milling. Fiend Artisan is a reward for milling. Risen Reef, Cavalier of Thorns, and Yarok kind of comboing off here. The real goal, the real finisher we're supposed to get is this Nethroi Apex of Death coming in, mutating on one of my little creatures, getting back like Agent plus Yarok to get double Agent triggers. And we've got Titan's Nest here. Not sure if this really fits, but it is nice as like another way to cast like Agent really quickly. You can get a turn 4 Agent off of this with the right draw. And yeah, it's the deck, basically. Some notable stuff is that Fiend Artisan actually can be a really good late-game card in this deck, because Fiend Artisan for Agent of Treachery is a heck of an option to have. Yep, sideboard is a complete mess, because I haven't thought about it very much, because I just built it today. But this is an option, so I'm going to set up a poll here. And y'all have a minute to vote. All right, polls up. Y'all have a minute to vote. And we are going to... I actually kind of like the original Nethroi art much more. It keeps switching back to the Godzilla art, so we're going to swap this out real quick. Just be regular Nethroi. Nethroi is such a good boy. Look at that. Look at the tongue. Hello? Did you hear me? I said select this one. Select that one. Darn it! Magic Online really wants us to play with these Godzilla arts. They stick around no matter what. I feel like this was literally fixed. Okay, so now it works. Great. Nordic Rest, you said oh. Does the poll work now? I guess while you're all voting, I'll make another announcement, which is you can use the !emotes command to suggest emotes. For my channel, I have 5 new ones to add. I'm going to hire an artist to do them up all fancy and everything, so would love your suggestions for what we should do, emote-wise. Also, there's a box there for you to input other suggestions for the stream. If you're going to spend a lot of time watching this, you might as well make it a good viewing experience for yourself, so suggest ways we can make it more pleasant to watch. Got, we'll say, 30 more seconds on the poll. Yeah, no, it's fun to play. It's definitely has very many different ways to be inconsistent. I beat, so far with this deck, I've beaten Blue-White Yorion once, beat Jeskai Yorion twice, went up against Timur and lost a really close match, went up against Rakdos Lurrus and lost a very quick match that was not close because this deck cannot beat Priest of Forgotten Gods on turn 2. Hello, Freston Wizard. Alright, we'll say 10, I'm not really counting this very accurately, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Checking the results. And surprise, surprise, Sultai Nethroi blows everything else out of the water, so we'll play some of that now. So, I promise you this deck, I cannot promise you this deck is competitive, I suspect it probably isn't. It is real fun to play, and is very much a work in progress, so in theory there's room for it to get better. Too much hair, Bottle Brush. Wait until I can get a haircut, and then maybe we can do some Edgewelling Keeper cosplay. David, yeah, it's something I'm considering. There's some royalty-free music that I might throw up in the background at some point when I have time to make the audio work. Wow. I think every opponent we play today has at least been in the numbered mythics. It's pretty good. Nova Flip. Titan's Nest has been okay. It's like pretty easy to fuel in this deck. It's been responsible for winning a game or two, and has been pretty bad in other spots. You know, it's fair. Alright, well, I don't think we're allowed to keep just Merfolk Seeker Keeper Paradise Druid with no payoffs. So we will throw this one back. By the way, it looks like our opponent doesn't have a companion, which is a good time for me to announce that I don't think this deck can ever beat Wilderness Reclamation in a million years. We don't even really have a sideboard for it, is how bad I expect it to be. But we'll see. It's nice that we're not playing it expecting to be competitive or anything, we're just trying to meme a bit. We'll Skull Prophet this turn. It's like that next turn we're going to do Zagoth Triome Paradise Druid. So I can afford to put some cards in my graveyard with this one. Yeah, Lolly Jaeger. Could invest in a better mic as well. Another Agent of Treachery. Perfect. At least this deck wants to draw those a little bit more than Winota does. And the opponent also molds, so maybe we have a little bit of time. They seem to be missing green mana. Oh, Fizzy Elf, I'm just ignoring it and hoping it goes away. Sorry, Hair. Don't mean it. I don't mean it. Don't go away. Stay where you are. For a little while, please. Alright, that's a Wilderness Reclamation. We are whiffing hard on mana, so I suspect we're just completely in a hopeless position and can't win. Maybe if we were to cast Yarok this turn, but even so, we're waiting a little bit too long to cast Agent of Treachery. We at least did hit the land off a Glowspore Shaman, so I will put that one on top. I'm not going to risk Paradise Druid into another Shark here. If our opponent casts Explosion, I will concede the game. We'll move on to the next one. Alright, Explosion was not cast. We've got ourselves a chance, maybe. So, is this Titan's Nest or Yarok this turn? I'm thinking Titan's Nest this turn. Let's attack with Glowspore Shaman. The opponent's not gonna... So the opponent knows they're... tries to block before they know they're fueling Titan's Nest. This may well just get countered immediately. We'll keep Paradise Druid off of being Scorching Dragon fired. Goodbye, Titan's Nest. We hardly knew ye. Okay, well, if I hit a couple more lands and I can curve Yarok into Agent, we might get somewhere. If the opponent keeps missing on explosions, although they do get to scry a lot, and they just shock this land in, which is terrifying. If it's a big shark, I can beat a big shark for one turn. But darn, looks like they just top decked the explosion. The card they play 4 copies of in their 60 card deck. Very unlucky. Big shark? Big shark, no whammies? You know, Kevlar Man, I had always kind of pictured you as being more of like a military kind of dude or dudette. So, you surprised me with that. All right, that's good enough, opponent. You got us. All right. You love the, like, wait 30 seconds and then explosion. How does anybody ever play this deck and not just get bored? All right, what are we doing? So, Brazen Borrower is reasonable interaction, but not great. Think it's probably not good enough. We do want Gem Razors. What am I cutting? What am I cutting for all the Gem Razors? Yarok seems maybe a little bit ambitious. Mostly we're trying to get this out of the graveyard, but being a 5-drop that gets Mystical Disputed is awkward. Fiend Artisan actually seems great. I love Fiend Artisan in this matchup. We could also remove Titan's Nest, because Titan's Nest kind of just like... let's actually just cut the Titan's Nests. This card can get disputed, and it also just opens us up to getting countered really hard. Like, making our spells cheaper by turn 4 doesn't seem like what we want to be doing. And I'll cut 1 Yarok, I think. The fact this deck can put together, like, a semi-coherent beatdown plan is nice into Reclamation. Ah, Reed Booch, that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. Because I did shock that land in. Well, Hackmage, to be fair, you did try to learn Temur Rec, which I don't recommend. Play something cooler. Just play something cooler. I'm kidding. You can play a very good deck if you want to play a very good deck. Nothing wrong with that.
We need to become
Kip Evil, thanks for the follow.
That's the goal.
Opponent's in a bit of a pickle, not knowing what the heck to sideboard. And so we wait. Trying to think if there are any interesting, like, Nethroi type interactions to note. Yeah, not really. The deck kind of plays out the way you would expect, for the most part. Come on, good aggressive Fiend Artisan draw. I'll take that. That works. Good, Hackmage. That's appropriate. That's correct. Hey, I'll take Music Bottle Brush if you want to give some music. Huh. So I think I actually want to go Secret Keeper myself, play another tap land, and then next turn play Mire Trite and play out Secret Keeper. That way I can mutate Anguirus onto the Secret Keeper, meaning that it doesn't get blown out by like a Scorching Dragonfire. So we'll just do that. No. Alright, put some pretty good cards in the graveyard. Cards that I would have loved to cast at some point. But that's okay. Wanted that Nethroi, and I really wanted that Fiend Artisan. Oh, sorry to hear it, Tamwam. Are you playing right now?
Yeah. Look at this game. This is ridiculous. It's just, like,
Wow, they really did have less than 3 minutes on the clock.
so slow.
Can we get some Fs in the chat for Tamwam? Playing against a very slow Reclamation player.
Like, I had a horrible hand, but like I almost like won on time just because they were so slow.
Well, playing the Swamp is hugely punishing because we drew Uro, so that's a thing we should not have done. Is there any consideration for just jamming Anguirus and just hitting them for 6 damage this turn? I feel like no, I feel like that can't be right. Like, that isn't the thing we want to do here. Thank you, chat, thank you. Honestly, I'm kind of into just going aggro. Let's do it. They can probably counter this after they do Reclamation anyway. I'm happy to have them spend Mystical Dispute now because it means Uro maybe doesn't get Mystical Disputed next turn, which is great. Alright, so if they don't have the second counter for Uro, we might be in semi-reasonable shape. The fact this deck is just a Turbo Uro deck is a nice feature. I might should just be playing 4 of this card. I hear it's a pretty good Magic card. Could also go for Cavalier of Thorns this turn and not try to Uro them yet, since it makes them work a little bit harder for the counter. Yeah, let's Cavalier this turn. Lollyigger, yeah, we're super cute. We can't even hide it. Okay, we milled another Fiend Artisan, very sad. Honestly, should probably just be putting in the 4th Fiend Artisan just because it's so good against Reclamation. Like, if I'm trying to play this deck seriously and have good matchups against things, I don't hate just having another Fiend Artisan in the main, because that can just scam Reclamation very hard. Crimson, is our deck good? Good question. I really couldn't say. Okay, here come some creatures. Sad thing was with no agents in the yard, we don't even win necessarily by resolving a Nethroi. And we'll Uro here. Can't play our Mystical Dispute. Actually, there was a turn I didn't play one of these Triomes, and I should have played one of the Triomes. So sequencing again, punishing here. There's no reason to ever keep lands in the yard. So we got rid of some lands and then some random kind of dorky creatures. Icarus Fall. We're feeding Heroes. We have Nethroi. Like, this is a Nethroi deck. Yep, so punished maybe for not playing around this. Definitely sucks that even if they had been at least forced to use a more expensive counterspell that turn, they wouldn't have been able to Vantress, which would have been a big deal. So that choice really hurt us. But I do think this matchup is heinous enough that the small choices are not as important. No, milled another Nethroi. So sad, so sad. One of the early builds of this deck had some Mausoleum Secrets as a way to tutor for Nethroi. It was not bad. It was not terrible. For maximum meme value, I should probably put some more of those back in. Yep, Uro's here. We can just keep getting Uro back out of the yard, which is at least one small bonus, but Explosion kills us whenever it happens, as usual. Guess we could rip a Gem Razor. I think we milled one of those before, though. That's Nethroi. Okay, that is Nethroi. Let's attack and see what our opponent has to do about it. Yeah, Dukester, Pelucranos works well with Nethroi, but it doesn't really synergize with the rest of the deck, although it is a good cheap beater against Wilderness Wreck, I will admit. Alright, well, if our opponent has another counter really sad, if this resolves, we might be able to pull something out. So we're going to throw it onto Secret Keeper, I suppose. Secret Keeper can't be Scorching Dragonfired and can't be Aether Gusted. I mean, Nethroi can be Aether Gusted, so it's a bit of a moot point. What's up, opponent? Let us resolve it. Just let us resolve it for the chat, please. Please, let us. Let us do it. Let us do it. Let us do it. Let me do it.
Is this still UB Mutate? No.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Woo! All right. Having a chance has been called. Fiend Artisan, 1/1. Fiend Artisan, 1/1. Beyond that, we don't actually have much going on. I'll take a Cavalier of Thorns to thicken the graveyards a bit, and I'll take a Mire Triton to also thicken the graveyards a bit. And that's the 4 cards we get. Alright, that's a lot of power in play. We gain some life. Did I play this Triome out? Yeah, I'll play this Triome out. We only have 2 blue mana, huh? So we can't do Uro and Yorion? I'll play this out, though. With Fiend Artisan, I just kind of want mana. Alright, so the fun thing we get to do if we don't die next turn, chat, is we get to use Fiend Artisan to go get an uncounterable Agent of Treachery to steal this Wilderness Reclamation. And we're very not dead to Explosion. Our opponent is facing down a lot of power on this board. So we have what they call in this business a chance, kind of. It's likely that Explosion still draws them another Reclamation. It occurs to me that it would be really nice if we could have like a... I've gone back and forth between Gemrazor and Thrashing Bronton. I think Gemrazor is a better card. Thrashing Bronton is better in the occasions when you resolve Nethroi. Like, much better card to actually have in your graveyard to bring back. Knight of Autumn would be the best of all possible worlds. Would require us to play a 4th color, which I don't really want to commit to yet. Kevlar Man, it depends. It depends. Depends on how this turn goes. How much mana they sink into this explosion, etc. Something I've also considered in this deck, of course, is having more Mutate, so that I can put stuff onto Nethroi, because it works every time you mutate onto it. But aside from Gemrazor and like maybe Parcel Beast are not a lot of good options. It's just hard to find room for everything. So part of this testing is just figure out what do we have too many copies of? What pieces do we not need more of? Alright, just going straight to the face with that. I appreciate you, opponent. And, okay. Mire Tritons are gone, Fiend Artisans are bigger. So that's a trade-off. Opponent is taking exactly 10 damage on the attack, so if I figure out anything that does anything... Huh. Alright, so complicated turn here. I can use Fiend Artisan to steal Wilderness Reclamation. If I attack, they take 10 damage, and I gain 5 life because Nethroi does have lifelink. They lose some of their creatures, but get to keep Uro, which is sad. I can have Uro come out and gain me life, so I go to 22. Go to 22. If I steal a creature and swing, I would have to, unfortunately, sack a different creature, which means I'm only swinging with 3 creatures, which is not great. I got 1 timeout to think about this. I think stealing the Reclamation has to be worthwhile here. Unfortunately, I have to get something back with Cavalier of Thorns before I do Fiend Artisan stuff. Dang, if only there were a way for Fiend Artisan to get something to mutate with, but there really isn't. Alright, so we're going to go in with Fiend Artisan plus Nethroi. Someone willing to trade Uro here? Nope, they're just taking the hit. Interesting. With 2 untapped Cavalier of Thorns, I'm surprised by that decision. Nethroi does have Death Touch, yes. Alright, we're going to go X = 7. make Cavalier go away. We at least get to shuffle something back into our deck, which is not the worst thing, considering how... Alright, Agent's coming out. Wait, Agent's coming out of the graveyard, which it is... Darn, should have shuffled Gem Razor back in. I forgot what trigger this was. We'll just decline. So Agent is here. And is stealing your Wilderness Reclamation, opponent. Goodbye. Can't really do much at instant speed, sadly. Oh, Z-Twig, the deck is not updated. I forgot to do that again. Sorry, Z-Twig. We'll update the deck after this match, and we'll probably make some quick changes to it as well.
That's what happens when I leave you for 5 minutes to play against the Wilderness Rex.
So your voice is just softly floating in from right off of camera? Do you want to just hang out on camera for a few minutes? No? Okay. Alright, so opponent could have another Reclamation. I don't think another Reclamation plus Explosion kills us, and we do get to steal every Reclamation they play for the rest of the game, which is kind of cool. Burrow just charging in. Alright, so we might be dead to the Reclamation Explosion now. Block with Cavalier, put something on top of the deck. Is that lethal? That's 3-6. Alright, what am I getting back out of the graveyard here? I mean, I guess assuming I resolve something, I just want another Nethroi, right? Definitely another Nethroi. I think double Reclamation Explosion would kill us. First one. Second one. And then that's 2, 11, 24 mana. Yeah, so second Explosion kills us. We'll make him tap for it. You never know. Maybe they won't have it. Still close game. We had them at 1 there. We had them at 1, and we might have been able to put them to 0 had I been able to, had I not screwed up my tapping earlier. That's 12. More than dead to Explosion. Also, they hit 3 Rex in the top. Alright, top half plus of the deck, so not that lucky. Close one, close one. In theory, wouldn't have died to that maybe had I put another creature out to block, but they might have had a bounce spell or something. Alright, so right now we're going to make some slight updates to the deck, and then we're going to update the Stream Decker. That was fun. That felt more competitive than I was expecting, albeit not that competitive. Probably want some Knight of Autumns to go with the Fiend Artisans if I really want to make this at all reasonable.
You can just export it into Stream Decker.
Well, you'll have to show me how. Alright, so Fiend Artisan was just great there. I think Fiend Artisan's just a 4 of. Big creatures are, even if it's bad on turn 2, just giant creatures are good. Darn, Titan's Nest just takes up space that I want to use for other things, but it is good sometimes. It's very good occasionally. So I want more Secret Keepers if I'm doing the Artisan stuff. Could just cut 1 Titan's Nest. You obviously never want to draw 2 of them. Let's cut 1 Titan's Nest. €3 feels pretty comfortable. You're milling a lot, so you're likely to hit 1. Sideboard is hot garbage over here. Do I want some counters to bring in against Rec? Maybe. More enchantment removal. With Fiend Artisan being such a big part of the plan, I think I want enchantment removal that I can tutor. So maybe I go to 3 Gem Razor and 1 copy of Brontodon. We'll use the Ixalan original here. I could probably be doing more with the Fiend Artisan tutor package. Right now I'm just using it to get like Risen Reefs and Agents of Treachery and not much in between. What else? Kevlar Man, no, I don't think so. That's just an expensive card. It takes a lot of mana to use it. I like Foragers. Foragers could be a 1 of, probably, if we're doing like tutoring for it a lot of the time anyway. Lets me just play more actual interaction here. Third Brazen Borrower feels good against Luca. Yeah, Galifan would be an uncastable Knight of Autumn, basically. I only have 8 white sources in this deck. I could warp the mana base to have more white sources, but if I'm only doing Knight of Autumn with that, it doesn't feel worthwhile. I think I could go to 4 Gem Razor and 1 Brontodon. There's no reason not to do that, actually. Let's do that. So Ace of Rainbow, 0 power creature is obviously great with Nethroi. I think when you build a Nethroi deck, you have to do it under the assumption that just like Nethroing back all your normal creatures is going to be a winning strategy. I think that game was the first time I've ever resolved Nethroi and lost, and 0 mana dorks would not have helped very much there. What would have helped me was having Thrashing Bronson on the graveyard, which is why I'm enthusiastic about trying 1 on the board here. Maybe it's actually like a 2-2 split. Like a 3-2 split or something. Alright, we'll leave it at that. The sideboard's a mess still, but maybe it'll be less messy later. Alright, we'll export this and we'll throw it into Stream Decker. So it'll just be 1 minute chat. Thanks for your patience as always. So if you do this, the formatting is horrible, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
But we can try. This is the reason I do it to Scryfall first. It missed a lot of cards the first time I tried this.
Really? Just say okay. Oh no.
That's the wrong.
Temur Clover was just totally fine.
I think companions mess it up.
Do you want me to just send me your stream?
Yeah, why is Marino as a collector here? That doesn't make any sense. We'll try without companion. Alright, so companions mess up the Stream Decker pretty bad. No companion works. So this is the wrong deck. Hold on. That's a problem. Export. Great. Ah, wait. It's this one.
Just answer one of it. Oh, let's keep this one.
Alright, so deck's updated now. You can all look at the list as is. Definitely still a work in progress, as mentioned before. Feel free to ask me questions about why I made choices I did those, since I did theory craft this a lot today and play a few matches. It's in the sideboard. Tanappiness, thanks for the follow. Lolly Jaeger, 1 of Lotless Giant is cute. That is a tutorable thing that would have maybe killed my opponent there. I don't want to rely on the Fiend Artisan plan too much, and I don't want to put too many kind of really weak cards in the deck. But maybe Lotless Giant just works well enough with the milling we're doing. I'll keep this. Can't throw away all 5 landers in this deck. I like Risen Reef. Alright, this hand works against Mono Red maybe moderately well. Agent of Treachery, not what we wanted to see. I will take cheap creatures, though. Cheap creatures work. No! Why did I scry to the top? Never scry to the top. Never scry to the top.
Aww.
Then, of course, we get the person who's just persisting in playing Mono Red and Mythic. I do not think this deck has a very good Mono Red matchup. That would surprise me, to say the least. Although we do get to cast Mire Triton. And we do get to sideboard in a bunch of removal, which is something. Shock. It's not even an Bosh deck, we just got shocked. Oh, wow, Uro. That could have been in my graveyard next turn. We could have cast it this game. No. Alright, we at least got a pain-free land. I'll take a pain-free land without complaint. Yarok will be great if we live that long. And this is the turn we get Emmer Cleaved and Scoop. Yep. Alright, next game. Huh, Jim Carroll, were they all Obosh decks? Their Mono Red Obosh decks look pretty good. Regular Mono Red does not seem quite as good. Alright, so we do lots of sideboarding today. Lots of sideboarding. We just cut agents, or we just off the agent plan completely and we're just on the Uro plan? Definitely cut like 2 agents at least. We cut Titan's Nest. We cut... Add the Disfigures, add the Erebos' Interventions, add the Thrashing Brontodons. Probably add the Gem Razors. I think they run enough artifacts that this is worth it. Oh, we had Crawl Foragers, of course. Brazen Bar were probably not good enough. Honestly, our fundamental plan is not that bad against them. We're cutting Risen Reef. Risen Reef is real slow. Let's cut Risen Reef. Nethroi is just a 5/5 lifelink, which is not the worst thing in the world. Cut a copy of Glowspore Shaman, maybe is just a 3/1. It plays defense, but that's about it. Cut Glowspore Shaman. Do I want Gem Razors for Anax? Maybe a couple. Maybe cut 1 Yarok. It's just expensive. Cut all the agents? Let's cut all the agents. If I play Nethroi, I still get like 3 creatures back out of my yard, and that's got to be enough. Yep, we'll take this. This is possibly Fiend Artisan being fast enough to shut our opponent down early. Maybe. It is nice that Fiend Artisan can't really be claimed the firstborn very well. Hit 3 lands, perfect. Just what I wanted to do with Fiend Artisan there. Alright, at least their light up the stage hits were pretty bad. So not difficult to just play this out tapped, not present a target for shock this turn, and then just disfigure the Spitter. Okay, and Yarok off the top's really good. So, some small question about whether I want to expose Fiend Artisan. I don't think I mind exposing Fiend Artisan, though. Like, if they have a 3rd copy of Shock or a Stomp for it, it's whatever. I just get to cast Yarok anyway. 3rd copy of Shock. Deal. Okay. Muddy Mundo came from my brain. Came from my fevered imagination. Alright, good luck getting through Yarok, opponent. Good luck getting through Yarok. Could really use a Mire Triton right about now. And Skull Prophet milling us helps us hit Uro, which is great. In fact, pretty down to see whether I mill Uro right now. Nope. Well, keep milling lands we don't want. That's also fine. We also have this 4/5 I should probably cast at some point. I think next turn I should start just jamming with Yarok and casting Yorion. Triumph Cycles, that's cool. Let's start there. Can still cast Yorion after cycling this if I want to. That's a good one. Sort of. It's a creature. Really? You got more burn? Curious, okay. So this could kill an Anax or an Embercleave. I'm more interested in just casting a 4/4, I think. Slaying Fire, alright. Why not? Why not? Alright, Nethroi should clean things up pretty well, I think. Mutate you on the high toughness creature. Hope they don't have another Slaying Fire. There we go. Yeah, it's not unreasonable, Kevlar Man. It's not unreasonable. Alright, so we get Yarok, Fiend Artisan, Fiend Artisan. It's not the most impressive haul, but how do we put 4 creatures in our graveyard that whole time? Goodness. It'll do. Alright, finally milled an Uro, so now things should be pretty shipshape. Maybe it depends on the deck, and yes, I've played probably between 34 and 39 lands in my own Yorion decks. This deck is playing 35, I think. It's got a lot of mana creatures, and the curve is, like, not super high. Could probably get away with more because it's a Risen Reef Uro deck, but I had trouble fitting in. I really want a high creature density to make Fiend Artisan work. Alright, so they're playing 1,000,000 copies of the card Shock. I don't think that changes anything about what I want to be doing. Yeah, let's just run this back. Goal of this game is to draw Crawl Foragers at some point. Yeah, 38 to 39 lands seems right for anything that's running like 4 Growth Spiral, 4 Uro. For a more normal Magic deck that just happens to be playing Yorion, I think they'll like Jeskai Luka decks play 36, and they have Birtham Letus and Omen of the Seed helping with their land drops. That seems about right. Fire Hippies, so I've got some Titan's Nest, which helps a little bit. I've got 8 2-mana ramp spells. And I don't have any like super huge mana sinks. Like once we get to about 8 mana, that's all we ever want in a game. Definitely can't block a Fervent Champion at all, though. That's not a thing that's happening. Mono red. Mono red. Yep, that was a better light up the stage for them. Well, hopefully our 4/4 hexproof can keep them busy for a little while. Maybe. Don't have the highest hopes for that. Wow. Yikes. Solid hand from the opponent here. What am I doing? There's just cast a 4/4. There's mutate a 4/4 onto Paradise Druid and hope it holds them back for a little while. They have Embercleave, I suppose I'm dead no matter what. I think I'm actually into just casting Skull Prophet and putting in a tap land. No, this should probably be Anguirus. Yeah, Drunken Vike, that's my question. That's, you know, you're asking the good questions. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's go Hexproof 4/4 and hope this somehow works. That's a good conspiracy theory too, Incarcerated. %98% to lose this game, but sitting here anyway, because that's what we do against Mono Red. Didn't get a chance to even cast Crawl Foragers, feels bad. I guess if Crawl Foragers is bad in this game, that's probably evidence I shouldn't be playing it in a deck. Sure would have loved Legion's End. I had a bunch of Legion's End in the sideboard for a while. That card feels underplayed right now against all the Fox decks. Yep. All right, that'll do it. That'll do it, Mono Red. All right, can we please just play against a regular Yorion deck one time? Would that be too much to ask? All right, gonna monkey with the sideboard a little bit more. I think Crawl Foragers is some nonsense. If you get late enough in the game that you have a substantial number of creatures in your graveyard, you're probably winning that game anyway. Cut that. Add the 4th Gem Razor, maybe. Could add some Legion's Ends. 4th Gem Razor. Why not? Let's just assume Mono Red's not going to be a substantial part of the meta. That's my assumption here. Okay, in for this. Lurrus. As long as it's not turn 2 Priest of the Forgotten Gods, I'm kind of down for Lurrus things. This. Well, we have a lot of deadweight targets, so that's a little awkward. But the Nethroi plan should probably work pretty well against them. Fiend Artisan could brickwall him pretty well, other than the Stonecoil Serpent thing. Or we could just hit 3 lands. Nah, not really. Don't really want more lands. Alright, it's not a deadweight. I'll take it. Titan's Nest. Oh, that's fun. Maybe. Alright, now I'm interested in untapped land so I can get Titan's Nest down, I think. Yep, Stonecoil is definitely completely unblockable for me. In fact, I'm not even sure I can interact with Stonecoil Serpent. Like, these might just kill me by attacking, even if no other damage ever happens. Oh, I can agent these. I can agent these. So we're just going to have to get that going. Titan's Nest not being able to fuel Fiend Artisan is very sad. Do I even Titan's Nest? What would I even be Titan's Nesting for? I don't have anything to play. Let's actually just go Reef. Put that one in. We're looking for Nethroi, I guess? Maybe? Not you. Uro would be helpful. Uro could at least gain me enough life to be in this a little bit. Woof. But yeah, you're seeing all the different holes in this deck. Oh, good lord. Oh, wow. Okay, I was really expecting that to be deadweight. I'm glad it was just a random removal spell. If they have land, they have Lurrus and a Mire's Grasp next turn, which beats us up pretty hard. We're just about at the point where Fiend Artisan can get useful cards out of our deck. Not quite, maybe. Yellow Cheetos. Any decks of the Mardu colors this rotation? Nothing comes to mind. Oh dear. Well, Mire's Grasp is going to start drawing your opponent 2 cards at a time, so we're probably very dead. It wasn't like our draw was even particularly weirdly bad or anything. They just had a quick start with those Eidolons, and yeah, we're not winning this one. All right. Well, this deck is good against other Yorion decks, I swear. Whether it's good against anything else remains to be determined. Stonecoil Serpent, huh? All the derpy regular creatures are coming in. Titan's Nest is coming out. Risen Reef is actually probably okay. Merfolk Secret Keeper would have blocked those. I could have actually fetched Merfolk Secret Keeper, huh? Wouldn't have worked against the Mire's Grasp Lurrus combo, but that's a thing I can do. Yeah, I built Marduknight's Lurrus. I've not played it yet at all. Cutting... Maybe Yarok's just greedy? It's always hard to tell what to actually cut when you do this whole aggro plan. Maybe I just cut the whole, like, Yarok Risen Reef package. Cut a couple Glow Spore Shaman. And 1 agent. Sideboard plan is, as I mentioned before, kind of incoherent. This is not a deck that by nature wants to sideboard very much. You kind of have all your best pieces in the deck. As a starting point, I'll keep this because Secret Keeper is a good blocker and we have a Bronton we can cast. We're looking for black mana, obviously, although I'll take a Fiend Artisan as well, since we've got a mill 4 coming up. Alright, we're not getting brickballed by this thing this time. Not this time. Four lands. 4 different black mana producing lands. How do we do it? How do we do it, chat? Good gravy. No, Max MTG Clover is a very good deck. Clover is certainly better than the deck I'm playing right now. And we might go to that deck soon. Alright, can block that. I guess it's Thrashing Bronton on time, because I still have no creatures in my graveyard to make Fiend Artisan worth anything. Ooh, Abzan, okay. Alseid can protect Serpent from Brontodon. Cool, another forest, cool.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat.
Fiend Artisan is a 1/1, we kind of have to cast it. Kind of. This even gives enchantments protection, so I can't even kill the All That Glitters. Sorry to hear it, Daddy. That's a 9/9. Can't interact with that one, thanks to Alseid. So I think it's just going to kill us. I suppose I can make them sack the Alseid, which puts them to a 7/7. So we'll do this. Alright, we're going to do this. We're going to target Serpent. They're going to sack Alseid. If I draw a land next turn, I can turn Secret Keeper into the other Brontodon and kill the Serpent with that. Or I could just draw a black source and cast Mire Triton. That's an option as well. Can't block Secret Keeper since I need to turn that into Brontodon. Soul Guide Lantern. Alright, that's a card I could see you bringing in. Sure. Very good with Lurrus. Very good against... Yeah, our deck also picks up on all the spare graveyard hate that other decks pick. This is a... Alright, I'm just not into this one anymore, chat. This hand... The hand was bad, the mills were bad, the draws were bad, everything was bad. Montello3, thanks for the follow. Yeah, getting stone coiled. It's just one of this deck's many weak points. It's fun, it can beat decks pretty well, its nut draws are pretty nutty, but we're going back to Temur Clover right now. All right. Playing good decks on Ladder Pog. So I'm worried about Clover's long-term prospects. I think the Temur Elementals deck seems very good and real to me, and I think Temur Clover probably struggles with it. But maybe just once today I can play against somebody playing the Luck of Fires deck. Alright, this hand is extremely good. Extremely, extremely good. We're going to make this token right away because Of One Mind incentivizes us to have a humanist play as fast as possible. Great. Looks like we just have the Wind draw. Definitely feels good to play decks that have an Wind draw. Opponent is welcome to be playing Reclamation at this point. With this draw, I think we can even handle Reclamation. Crunch. Huh, some small temptation to cast Lovestruck Beast right now because it's a friggin' 5/5. Yeah, if I Beanstalk Giant, I'm doing nothing with the mana. If I go Lovestruck Beast next turn, I just go Of One Mind, Beanstalk Giant, and then if I hit some kind of decent-sized creature, like, or not decent-sized, sorry, a Bone Crusher or a Borrower, I can just do that. Very weird. This is like the 98 out of 100 times you're going to sequence this. So Beanstalk Giant comes first, but I think Lovestruck's correct there. Yeah, I think it's okay, Halanan. I just don't think it's good. It does not feel, yeah, Mighty Mundo, the Nethroi experiment drew very poorly, and also turned out to have a bunch of horrible weak spots, and so it has been tabled. So this is actually going to be Beanstalk at lands first, just because we're thinning the deck a little bit. We don't want to draw more lands off the Of One Mind. Pick up an island and a mountain, because we have a Breeding Pool in hand, which means if I play Of One Mind, then Mountain plus Breeding Pool casts all the different 2-mana spells in the deck. Alright, you know, I'll take a... Alright, do I Temple or do I just make more tokens now? Let's Temple. Our opponent's turn might be effective if they think they can turn off Lovestruck Beast. Like Bone Crusher at this point. Oh, hell no, I've actually liked the Jeskai Fires matchup. I was more scared of Kruga Fires than I think I should have been at the outset. Ooh, Reclamation without Reclamation. Slightly scarier than Fires without Fires, but still, you love to see it. These Uros are looking to start coming out of the graveyard pretty soon, but not quite yet. So I smell Scorching Dragonfire from a mile away, so we're going to double Heart's Desire now. Make it so Lovestruck Beast can attack safely. Yeah, accept that. I accept that. Okay, opponent's now mostly tapped out over there. So we got some decisions. I could just go cast Lovestruck Beast, make some more tokens, hold up Bone Crusher Giant. Opponent's only got 3 cards in the yard. They're pretty unlikely to get Uro down next turn. Actually, let's not go for the tokens yet. Pretty easy for Stormwrath to turn off both the Lovestruck Beast at this point, which I would not want to see. We'll go for this. Jam Lovestruck, hold up Double Stomp. If they hit Reclamation exactly this turn, it's awkward. And they could have hit in their last 2 draws thanks to Uro. But it's still pretty unlikely. Yeah, Kevlar Man, maybe I'll try it sometime. I mean, I'm on, what, 13 basics right now, I guess? I've definitely lost multiple games not having my colors on this list in the last couple hundred games. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with that. Alanin, I mean, yeah, you kind of do have to draw Brazens to be good against fires most of the time, but you have 4 of them. Alright, so is this going to be a shark, a sweep? Let's find out first. Don't want to make more tokens ahead of time, because the only way they're really killing 3 tokens is with a sweep, which would kill the other tokens anyway. Gorgonzola Chef, thanks for the follow. Alright, opponent's almost dead over here. Let's, main thing is I would like to stop Uro from coming out this turn if at all possible. So let's do some wishing. One Soul Guide Lantern, please. And while we're asking for things, I'll take a Mystic Repeal, thank you. Could have gotten Fling, that was another option there. We'll just hold up Mystic Repeal, cast Fae of Wishes for a little bit of extra offensive pressure. Every bit counts. Yeah, Kevlar Man, I definitely remain pretty, will be vociferous about the point where I feel like having enough lands for Beanstalk to fetch has pretty much never been my problem. I literally don't know if I've ever gotten to that point in a game and lost where I ran out of basics for Beanstalk. Maybe 1 out of 100 kind of game, and those would not have been games that extra lands would have won me anyway, most likely. Alright, so Reclamation kind of beaten down a little bit. Sideboarding against this deck is a careful balance. You want to have some counters in the main, but you want to have some counters to wish for. Bone Crusher Giant, less than impressive. Of One Mind is slightly hard to actually resolve when you've got them killing your humans very commonly. Fae of Wishes, probably better as a 3 of here. It's nice that you can get Mystic Repeal, but it's kind of bad without Clover. So the worst cards in the matchup are Bone Crusher, Fae of Wishes, Of One Mind, Escape Pod's Beanstalk Giant. And cutting from between those is pretty much your challenge. I used to hate Escape in this matchup because it felt like they always have counters. I think I hate it a little bit less now. But Of One Mind can be pretty efficient. Let's cut a Fae, cut an Of One Mind, try running it like that. Yeah, still very much feeling my way through sideboard against this deck. Alright, double Beanstalk Giant, really not what we want to see in the matchup, but it's not a hand we can really mull mull either. Maybe Max MTG, what do you board out against them? Do you just board out all the Faes if you're bringing all the counters? And just play completely as a beatdown deck? Because I could see that. Huh. Alright, so it's hold up. If they have Growth Spiral and a Reclamation, holding up Borrow to bounce it would be cool, but I think we have to assume the hands are not that nuts, so we're going to go for Innkeeper Lovestruck and try to get some beatdown going. Essence Scatter, alright, well, that's not Growth Spiral, so fine by me. This is interesting.
You update Temur Clover?
I think Adventurous Impulse are probably in the Stream Decker right now. I definitely didn't put it in Stream Deck that we're playing it now.
What do you have now? Instead of...
Do I risk this against a shark? I think I'm risking this against a shark. If they want to put in a shark, I can just Beanstalk this turn. Yeah, Max, I can see that making sense too. Dispute Lovestruck Beast, deal. Alright, Reclamation's down. It's not the scariest thing in the world. We do have some... Actually, Never mind, it's pretty scary. I was going to say if we had an untapped land, we could Beanstalk and hold up Brazen Borrower to take care of it. We don't, so we can't. Ether Gust, really? Okay. So they have a counter-heavy hand there. Lucky Clover. Is this good enough? I honestly don't think this is a Clover time right now. I really need to be able to go Fae for... Really want to be able to get a land so I can go Fae into Mystic Repeal and take out this Reclamation. And we're getting exploded for 4. We can live through an explosion for 4. My opponent drawing 4 cards is not the end of the world. Do need that untapped land right now, though. That would be my strong preference. Got Edgewilling Keeper instead. All right, well, we'll do this. Try to hold them at bay. We're definitely way behind. Way behind, but not 100% out of it just yet. Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, Maximilian. But, not a decision that mattered much. Okay, Reclamation is here, so I don't expect Fae of Wishes for Mystic Repeal to resolve in a million years. But we're going to try it. We're going to attack with this token first, see if we can tempt them to make a shark and eat our token. No such luck. They have cast 1 explosion already, so in theory I could try to go like Innkeeper, be cute about that. Nah. If they counter this, or if they counter the Mystic Repeal, we get to Innkeeper anyway. Alright. Cool. Got one of those. Good. They've got a Blast Zone, but I don't mind trading this Innkeeper for a land and some mana out of them. Opt does mean they're off of Thassa's Intervention, so there's some consideration for Mystic Repealing right now. In which case I should have done it before they got to Opt. Yep, Max. It's pretty important. I mean, I think we get better post-sideboard, frankly. Do I let them keep drawing here, or do I just Mystic Repeal now to use their mana if they're going to spend it? I'll repeal now. Ether Gust. Okay, back to the top with you. Oh, okay. That's smooth. That's very smart. Okay, Ether Gust your own, Reclamation, draw it. I feel not a great sense of victory at that play. I guess we kind of got. Really missing the second, the copy of Wilt that used to be in the sideboard. They're not super likely to Uro us. They have Mountain Blast Zone up, so don't really feel a need to go get Soul Guide Lantern yet. Think I want to start casting creatures. Trying to apply moderate amounts of pressure. Another Beanstalk is iffy. Think I'd rather just cast Borrower end of turn. And down to attack with token. See if they've got that shark or not. Okay. If they go for Chemist's Insight, I'm going to counter that, I think. Or Thassa's Intervention. I guess knowing that I would counter Chemist's Insight or Thoughts Intervention makes it more likely that Beanstalk Giant was the play there. Here's Uro. He's not coming out of the graveyard, so you can have Uro. Maximilian, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. We're gonna need to catch them with their pants down a couple times this game, I think, to get out of this alive. Opponent knows we have something, but for all they know, it's Brazen Borrower. All right, so Uro gonna come out of the graveyard. Do I get to dispute an Uro? Would love to dispute an Uro. Spiffy, great. All right, goodbye. That was moderately satisfying. This attack is bold. Okay. I mean, I guess I kind of get it. They know what's in their hand. I don't. We got to dispute the Uro, but now we have to go get Soul Guide Lantern to get rid of it again. Are we just getting exploded? Ah, alright. Going after Innkeeper. That's fine. I am okay with you using your mana this way. Okay. So color problems, Kevlar Man. You notice how if I'd had a dual land instead of one of these forests, like a Steam Vents instead of forest number 7, which I used to have, I could have cast Brazen Borrower there. I like having actual colored mana available. Alright, so what do I do here? Going to attack, going to pretend on the beatdown, ignore this shark. And I kind of need to get Uro out of the way this turn. We're going to just hope they have nothing, I think is the plan. Just go for the most aggressive turn we can have. We're like way, way, way behind. So we're going to hope for nothing. We couldn't Fey into Soul Guide Lantern around a Mystical Dispute anyway. So we're going to hope they're on a pile of lands, get Soul Guide Lantern, take out the Uro, and hope they can't kill us with Explosion next turn. Train 01, hello. Thanks for making sure that I would catch your message. Yeah, what are you doing for the blue sources? You're just playing more islands and fewer, Remind me what your mana base is? Alright, Shark Explosion kills me. Down to be killed by Shark Explosion here if that's what's coming. They definitely topped, which is a problem. But we'll get him in game 3. It'd be really nice in Arena if there were like a reveal your hand button. Because that's the thing you can legally do in a game of Magic. I believe you can just reveal your hand legally to your opponent. It would save everybody like a lot of time on these explosion turns. Alright, so you just accepted fewer red sources, Kevlar Man? Oh, fewer green sources. Yeah. I think you can do it post-game. Can you do it in the middle of the game, Jim Carroll, on MTGO? Alright, Big Shark. Big Shark is not game over. Could still, get the Soul Guide Lantern draw into Clover Borrower. Of One Mind's a good start, too. I mean, it's let's see, I'm running 4 Triomes, 8 Dual Lands, 7 Forests, so I'm on 19 green sources. That's a big difference. Alright, so we hit double land, not great. think we sack Lantern, see what I can find off of this. Mystical Dispute, not helpful. That's a lot of sharks. Many sharks.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
Alright, I'll scoop the game up from here. I think our odds of beating both sharks are almost nil. E-Dubs McCool, thanks for the follow. And alright, Max MTG, you've convinced me to try doing all the counter spells main deck, cut a mix of Fey and Escapes. Cut one more Fey, cut one Escape, do it like that. Or do I bring the second of? I'll bring the second of one mind. Cut maybe a Beanstalk? Third Fey, third Escape, of one mind. I'm actually going to put the Ether Gust back on the board, I think. Ether Gust feels like by far the least impressive counter-like thing we have. So that's not even crazy. I thought about cutting Clovers against this deck before because they're less useful than they are in a lot of other matchups. They usually don't have a lot of permanents to bounce. The extra stomps don't matter that much. The extra tokens just get flame swept. But the mana matters a lot, and now they have a bunch of sharks. I actually like Clovers a lot. Yep, down for this. Need blue. But we're down for this. Ashiok's Erasure combo, Ken. What deck would you play that one in? And what am I doing this turn? There's the option of just making the Beast token and not Clovering yet. I think that's kind of where I'm at. If I make the Beast token now, that gives me like a quick of one mind later. Even if they kill Innkeeper exactly this turn, we still get to have Beast be able to attack. Glad to hear you've been having success, Fatty Matty. Okay, Lovestruck Beast Resolving's great. Opponent missing their land off Growth Spiral is classic 29 lands later Timur. That is true. That's an interesting little combo there. Kellerman, I actually added more temples in after having none for a while. I found that I really like Temple on turn 1 a lot. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Alright, so this turn we're just going to of one mind to start with. Knock a Disputed Pog. Swing for 7. Clover versus Beanstalk here's interesting. I think it's just Beanstalk. I would like to have Bounce plus Borrow available next turn.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight, chat. That's the goal.
That's also true. I mean, there's no dispute up, but wasn't really a consideration for the turn anyway. I don't even mind Kevlar Man. I mean, if you flip a temple into your only land, it's bad. But lands on turn 1 being good seem important. I don't know. I'm like the closest thing I'm pretty close to like going on fewer basics and just adding some more steam vents. There's not a lot of aggro in the format right now. Reclamation's down, but we're like in very good position to defend against it. Kills Innkeeper immediately. Okay. So this should be curtains. I think we have, wow, more than enough Brazen Borrowers to hold them off forever. I guess maybe they can borrow this token as well. Be shocked if they get Brazen Borrower in against us, though. That doesn't seem like a thing you'd do. Happy to attack with this as well. If they make a shark to block it, I can just bounce the shark. Ether Gust, Lovestruck Beast. Huh. So if I go bounce Reclamation, they replay it, I bounce it again. I draw a card, I go like Clover, double token, hold double bounce. I think I will put that on top. Other thing I do, of course, is just cast Escape to the Wilds. I should just cast Escape to the Wilds. Alright, so I shouldn't have put Lovestruck Beast on top. Got lucky, hit 2 untapped lands, including a blue one anyway, so that's very lucky. Definitely a spot where I wouldn't have wanted to hit a temple, to be fair. Nova Flip, the key play in this deck is playing Escape when you haven't played a land yet, then hitting 2 lands and using that to play any of your various 2-drops. So that's like a big play if you can make it work. We'll just play Fair Reclamation now before they draw a card off of it. Beautiful, no dispute. Boy, their hand is just loaded with stuff that's not very good right now, huh? Yeah, if you missed it, Combo Ken, we played a blue-black mutate deck for the first half of the stream. That was a lot of fun. So you should go check out the video if you want to see some more of that. Play this turn, so obviously Disdainful Stroke isn't getting anything done. Want to hold at least 2 mana for Borrower. Let's play this out. Play... What else comes out here? Actually, I don't care about Wilderness Reclamation. We're just going to go Innkeeper, make tokens, make Lovestruck Beast, have lots of power on board, and then Reclamation isn't really scary when they're only on 4 lands. Combo Ken, do you mean Lotus Field in my deck? There's definitely no reason to play Lotus Field in this deck. It has no way to untap Lotus Field. Lotus Field is really a very bad land. You should only ever play it if you're untapping it with some other card, like Kiora. Not this day. Team Record matchup is like reasonable, obviously. It's like 30, 40, 60 or something, 35, 65 maybe, depending on the skill of each player involved. So not all hopeless. Hi there, iPhone Fan 5. Good to see you tonight. Okay. We have Wish for Fling available in case something happens besides this, but that is what happened, so we're putting that back. We've got access to 9 mana, which means I can Clover, and then Fae of Wishes sort of takes away all their chances at this point. Money Mundo, that's the streamer Preddy. It was a day that Preddy was playing some Temur Clover. Okay, so we'll just take Lantern. Mystic Repeal. And Ether Gust. Let our opponent untap, repeal their Reclamation. Do I Lantern now? I don't really mind them getting her out because I have a zillion Borrowers. Would probably rather have Repeal and Gust up at this point. Yeah, Mighty Mundo, when I heard it, I couldn't believe... I was like literally watching that stream replay at the same time I was looking for a clip or something to use a follow sound, and I just couldn't believe how good it was. It was like insanely lucky. All right, sure. They can counter this one too if they want to, but then they're real low on mana for the rest of the turn. Cute. All right, we got an explosion out of them. That's always good. It is definitely satisfying those occasional games where you can just bury Wilderness Reclamation in rock hard advantage. I'll have to watch that replay, Muddy Mundo. That does sound like a very Aaron Gertler move. And as we wait for our opponent to figure out whether Wilderness Reclamation can save them, it can't. I just want to thank everybody for hanging out here tonight. Remember to follow the stream if you enjoy what you're seeing. You haven't followed yet. We play all sorts of decks on the stream. Sometimes it's semi-professional Temur Clover. Sometimes it's amateur brews. But we always try to at least build sensible decks, even if we don't think the thing is the most competitive. And sometimes at the end of the month, I go into hardcore ladder mode and just jam Yorion decks down people's throats. That can be fun, too. Opponent is welcome to make a shark. Should have just attacked first, given that I don't care about sharks here, since I've got the borrowers available. Love that this has 2 triggers, so you don't have to like think too much about the timing as you... Are they just dead? Oh yeah, they're just dead to stomps. I'm being silly. Okay. Good game, opponent. All right, back to top 1,000. Very good. And I think that was the next to last game of the stream, but I'm glad to close out with one more match of Timur here.
Did you update the deck list?
Gonna cancel, gonna go update the deck list.
We have...
No, the cancel button didn't work. All right, well, I'll go. It won't take long to throw in the deck list since it's already made. Yikes. On the play, unknown, opponent has no companion, which means probably reclamation. Do you keep Beanstalk Giant into turn 4 Escape the Wilds? Legit considering it. I'm doing it. Something like that, Ace of Rainbows, something like that may be necessary. Alright, I'm not going to bother updating the deck on Stream Decker. There we go. Oh, it's very slow, Sailor. It's very slow. But we're trying it. If it turns out to be reclamation, then woe be unto us. Looks like it's not, though. And look at that. We drew the Lovestruck Beast right on time. So we'll just try him now. Some chance we would have cycled that with some of the ways this hand was going, but now that I have ways to spend my mana on turns 3 and 4. Ah, Winota. That's a good possibility. I was going to ask, does Winota play Castle Vantress? Apparently Winota does play Castle Vantress sometimes. This is a terrible hand against Winota. Edgewell and Keeper's nice, though. Let's go for... We can block a Legion Warboss token once, and Innkeeper plus Lovestruck at least gives us 2 draws to hit something that can get rid of the Warboss before Winota comes down. No Warboss, Pog. Probably raise the alarm then. One borrower, please? No? Alright, so... This turn feels like it's supposed to be Lovestruck Beast, then Escape to the Wilds next turn. Another Lovestruck's actually pretty good. It means that I have the If the opponent doesn't flip more than one Agent of Treachery, we can just kill off their Raise the Alarm tokens when they attack and actually be in pretty reasonable shape post-Escape the Wilds, probably. There's Raise the Alarm, does Winnow to follow, and do they hit 2 agents? 2 agents we probably can't beat, especially if they go after lands. 1 agent we can certainly beat. Certainly beat, well, can certainly, as in, like, certainly have chances. Okay, Rakdos on 3 we can beat. Agent of Treachery is worse. Takes Lovestruck, no surprises there. So this is a lot of damage. It's definitely a lot of damage. We have taken out both Raise the Alarm tokens. We do have a blocker that can stop Rakdos. Opponent has no 1/1s to attack with Lovestruck Beast. But it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Fae of Wishes, huh? Interesting. So we're taking 2, 4, 2, 6. We need to be able to block Rakdos with something. Playing out Lovestruck Beast gives me something with which to block Rakdos. So I think that's where I'm starting today. Alright, now do we play out Fae of Wishes? I believe we do. I think having more blockers is very good here. And we were too slow to wish for Storm's Wrath there anyway. Don't think I've lost a match to Unedited yet with Clover, but they can just get you. If you keep the slow uninteractive hands not knowing what you're up against, they can just get you. Ooh. Alright, Legion War Boss, we're going to say that's Curtains. That means they get to attack with Lovestruck Beast. And have lots of Unedited triggers the next turn. Okay. So this deck... we bring in Ether Gust. We bring in Disdainful Stroke. Do we bring in Disdainful Stroke? I believe we should. We just treat it as an aggro deck that can't really beat us in the long game if we can interact with them successfully. Fae of Wishes is a reasonable blocker. Also gets Red Cap Melee, which is a nice hedge against Winota. Can get Storm's Wrath to clear up more cluttered boards. Can get Grafdigger's Cage. Actually, since Fae of Wishes gets Grafdigger's Cage, this should just be bringing in Red Cap Melee for the main deck, right? Maybe just 1 Disdainful Stroke? What do we cut? Escape the Wilds is slow, as we saw there. I think we can afford to go down like 2 of these and 1 Beanstalk Giant. And then maybe 1 Fae of Wishes if we're bringing a lot of stuff that we would otherwise be wishing for. We've got 1 Stroke. Stroke's pretty bad against all their cards that are not Winota. Let's do this. Napadam, Blue-Black Mutate was a lot of fun. We won games from having a lot of bad hands. Alright, so now we know we're up against. We get to mulligan much more aggressively. Weird hand to be sure. I think double Clover you pretty much keep almost no matter what else is in the hand, even against Winota. Like, we have 700 different cards we could draw here that would make this hand excellent. So we're just going to try to find one of those cards before we die. Heh. Bottle Brush, very curious to see it. Alright, so 1 Brazen Borrower, 1 Bone Crusher Giant. Opponent not having a turn for Winota. Any of those things. Totally plausible. If we don't find something to interact with Winota, we are definitely going to be holding up a bunch of mana and hoping that the opponent doesn't cast Winota into all of our open mana. That will be our strategy. War Boss is fine. 1 Bone Crusher Giant, please. 1 Brazen Borrower. Nope. Alrighty then. So we're going to try and bluff real hard, because if they have Winota, we're not winning. Hold full control. Hold full control. Hold full control. Hold. Hold. Darn it, opponent did not fall for the thing. And we're outie. All right. I think when I played Winota last, I played Winota for like 6 or 7 matches at one point, not too long ago. I think I had turn 4 Winota like 3 times across all those matches. Woof. All right, well, we're playing another match. We're certainly not going to go out like that. It's possible that Keep is greedy. You should just never keep a hand that doesn't have Brazen Bar or Bone Crusher Giant, Red Cap Melee, something or other. But, is this what we're doing now? Okay. I do promise you, Clover is actually very good against Winota.
Oops.
Well, I wonder if that game really were just like land, 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 huh? SMH. So either the opponent is disconnected or we've disconnected. Posture.
That's true.
This is now a staring soulfully into the camera stream.
Can people redeem channel points for that?
No. Where were you against Winota? Where were you against turn 2 Raise the Alarm, turn 3 Legion Warboss, turn 4 Winota? That's what I would like to know. Oh, great content night tonight. We're making great content here, folks. Thanks to all 211 of you who are apparently watching this now live. This is also not the last match of the night if this is how it ends. Trust me.
Oh, I believe.
Opponent is mousing over some cards. Alright, opponent figured it out. Cool. Would not mind a nice game of Jeskai. Some people still play the Jeskai deck I hear. Be good to assert how strong that matchup is. It's a good story, Jim.
Wait, chat.
Alright, so opponent's got Jeskai Yorin going over there. This is going to be one of those turn 2 just cast Fae kind of things. I need to dig into some land drops. Clover Borrower doesn't do a lot right now. We have plenty of stuff to do that's expensive, so we're not going to be wishing this game anytime soon. And Fae plays the all-important role of making sure that Tef can't come down and land safely. Casket Innkeeper, that's tragic. Ooh, Beanstalk Giant. Alright, Beanstalk Giant means it's definitely Clover time. Main deck Glass Casket. I feel like that's not super typical in the Orion Luca decks. This might be something slightly different. Although Castle Ardenvale does point in that direction. Wow, very aggressive caskets from the opponent. I dig, I dig. Alright, so it's Beanstalk time, and we're not going to be borrowing fires just yet, I think. There's nothing the opponent can do here that's especially scary. Like, the very worst case scenario is that they cast a Tef as their first spell of the turn, in which case I will just bounce the fires into casket immediately. But I want to see what they're up to over there first. There's not a lot they can do that's super scary on turn 5, given this kind of mediocre set of permanents they have in play. If they go for Luca and try to make a token to get an agent out, that's incredibly easy to interfere with. Narset's fine too.
We need to become Aaron Girdler tonight.
Might just might end up just bouncing like the casket and fires at the end of the turn, so I can get untap with Innkeeper in play. Yay, 2727. Why don't you whisper that to me on Twitch, please? That way I'm going to be able to see it after the stream more likely. But thanks for the build. I'd be happy to look over it. All right, Tef is down. Is that what we're doing now, opponent? We're doing Tef? Tefskis? Tefskis have been called. All right. Let's respond. Bouncing. Do I just bounce double casket so I can kill all these planeswalkers? I genuinely don't think I care about this fires very much. And if I bounce the fires, they get to replay casket anyway, so it's actually just bounce both caskets. Okay, opponent's out of spells for the turn. And with 2 Escape the Wilds in our hand, even something like Luca is not especially imposing to face down. So this turn we have a double stomp available. We're just going to cast Escape to the Wilds. Grab any single untapped land in our deck lets us... As I was saying, any single untapped land in our deck lets us kill some planeswalkers. Instead, we're just going to attack down the Narset. Opponent could cycle a Shark Typhoon if they have one. They've got 2 cards in hand. Do we risk it? I'm actually just going to send Faye, I think, here. Yikes. So now we're in a troublesome position. We really need to hit an untapped land there, and now all my confidence is unwarranted. I think I'm sending Innkeeper. I have many more Innkeepers where this one came from. So, opponent did not appear to have sharks there. Great. Alright. So, if the opponent manages to make 3 Agents of Treachery this turn, I've been a fool. 2 agents we can handle, and it looks like it's going to be 1 agent at most, which we can definitely handle. What are we going to do with all these Innkeepers, though? What are we going to do? Alright, opponent just whiffing on important spells because their deck doesn't play very many important spells. I'll take it. Okay, step 1. Play Clover again. Step 2 is going to be murder this Tef, so I can play instant speed spells. And this Narset. As long as we have instant speed interaction up, Luca is not very scary. Big problem is we... Can I just cast all 3 of these Innkeepers? Legit don't know if I can. I might be in for just bouncing both of these tokens. Goodness gracious. We cast at least 1 Innkeeper. That part's easy. I think I just bounce token fires here, lose 2 innkeepers. It's sad, but I think it's necessary to prevent the worst possible thing from happening here. Also, there's a decent chance they have a shatter. So, just going to play around that one. We've still got plenty of clovers in phase. We'll find our ways to win. They can't activate Arden Veil. That's nice to think about. They can now drop more flashy Omen things into play, which is a little unfortunate. Still think it was worth bouncing both of those before we lost that Borrower to the escape. But it's, we have another Borrower in hand, so there was like some world where the option value of holding that up was high enough. Just cast Shark Typhoon. Alright, the opponent is hopeful, chat. The opponent is hopeful that just casting Shark Typhoon is how they're going to get through this game. I do not think they're going to be happy with what happens next. Alright, so we're going to start by casting some critters, drawing cards off these innkeepers, making hay while the sun shines, as they say. And then I think we just cast one of these borrowers and continue to make hay. Hitting lands is good. We bounce the Shark Typhoon and the other token, and we just start attacking. Opponent's draw has been hella awkward. Hella awkward. Okay. So it would be nice to get rid of the Shark Typhoon here. I think I'm going to start with Elven Mine in case I hit Fae. And we'll proceed from there. Did not hit Fae. We've got Escape, which could hit a Borrower. We've got Clover. We've got 5. Hold on. We've got 8, 9, 10 points. Okay. They're actually just dead to Stomps. Never mind. Didn't count. They're dead to Stomps. Should have counted first. But I do like casting Elven Mine, chat. I like that card. Yeah, winning with a nice clean win over Jeskai Yorian Fires would be a perfect way to close out the stream, so I think that's what we're going to be going for here.
You've said it now.
Said what?
You're gonna jinx it.
No, I'm not. Alright, this matchup, I like Disputes in. And as far as cards that come out, Elven Mind is pretty weak into Narset. So I think it's a fine card to have out. I like all the things that attack Planeswalkers and interact with my opponent's board. Let's do it like that. It's possible I'm not even supposed to sideboard in this matchup and just rely on going over the top. That's correct, Conan. Only needed the 2. It still boggles my mind. There may be a few people on stream who don't know this, so I'll go for Temur Clover story time. Back when I first popularized this deck and got to #1 with it and wrote a Reddit post about it and all that, a few pros kind of tried it a little bit. There was like a big event coming up. I think it was like the Mythic Invitational or something. They tried it a little bit. And the only one person who wound up playing it at the Mythic Invitational was Jean-Emmanuel Dupraz. JJ Rock, I believe, is a streamer. Great streamer, cool guy to watch, etc. JJ Rock went ahead and tried to play Temur Clover at the event, which was really cool. However, he somehow talked himself into playing a version of the deck that had 4 Growth Spiral, 0 Edgewall Innkeeper. The way this happened, I saw it all happen on stream. He did this on stream. He played against a friend of his with Fire's Invention a bunch of times, struggled in the matchup, decided that Edgewall Innkeeper was a trap, I think, against Deafening Clarion. I don't speak French, so this might be wrong, but this is how I interpreted it. Decided that that was a trap, and that it would be better just to play a big mana deck using the Beanstalk Giant Clover interaction. And somehow, without Edgewell Innkeepers, he still went like 4-3 at this tournament. It's crazy. But that was the chance that that deck had to break out much earlier than it did, and unfortunately, it didn't get there. Yeah, with Krasis. Hydroid Krasis stuff. Alright, so we could Fae of Wishes to get like Grafdigger's Cage or something. I would much rather just go ahead and get more lands onto the battlefield. Want to just cast a big Escape to the Wilds next turn. And meanwhile, we get to hold up all of our potential interaction for them to think about. Maximilian, I just boarded out the F1 Mines for Mystical Disputes. I'm not even sure you're supposed to sideboard at all. But Mystical Dispute was nice for us here. Caught a Tef, which is its job. Alright, now the opponent seems to be potentially holding up some counters. I don't buy it, Napoleons. I think Edgewell Innkeeper was way too good. Yeah, it dies to Mayhem Devil, but it's so good. Interesting. So Fae resolves. What am I supposed to go get here? It could just be Grafdigger's Cage. They don't seem to have Luca, but they did not have an untapped 5th land there. Kind of down for Cage. I feel like getting Luca is pretty much the only way we lose this matchup. Let's just play out Cage, see if this gets countered. Nope. Cool. Looks like they didn't have counters after all. Maybe Sharks. Meanwhile, their deck's just getting beaten down by a 4-3, because that's what happens when all your interaction is weird-shaped. To be fair, I don't have a defense against Shark Typhoon right now. Never mind, I do have a defense against Shark Typhoon. Never didn't have it, chat. Never didn't have it. That was a quick turnaround. Can I kill them? They're at... I can put them to 3 with Fling, but I can't kill them, so we're just going to repeal this Typhoon. They're hopeful, chat. They're hopeful, right? It's powerful. And maybe even makes sense. Like, if you don't have Luca, if you happen not to have Luca in your hand against Clover, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to beat this deck? I think hardcasting Shark Typhoon and hoping it sticks might honestly be your best bet. Even if it's not a very good bet. There's always your 4-5. You want to cast your 4-5 opponent? It was a decent bet. I honestly, don't mind the bet. Yeah, I remember when Shark Typhoon was previewed and people were all memeing over it. Like, it's a Hydroid Krasis that can't be countered at instant speed. Why are we all memeing? Oh. Large flash uncounterable creatures that draw cards are good, I believe is the lesson we've learned. Okay, well, we may be bringing things to a rather passive conclusion, as our opponent may not have many options left, but it is good to get some more satisfying wins over this deck on stream. I do think this matchup is incredibly in Temur Clover's favor, though I don't know about whatever decks may be coming to prey on this Jeskai deck. Still not sure about the Timur matchup in Reclamation or Yorion Elementals. Yeah, to be fair, Jim Carroll, if I'd had bounce, I would have bounced the Glass Casket, got my Innkeeper back, cast Borrower, drew a card. So I think they were right to bet on no Borrower there. Alright, we're done with the roping. Let's just beat down. And if our opponent ropes to the point where they can't respond anymore in the turn, I can just fetch Fling and kill them. We really didn't even do anything this game. We just cast creatures. But see, this is the difference, is the Clover deck, even when just every card in the Clover deck being really powerful, is so nice. so much nicer than playing like the Nethroi deck or even the Blue Black Mutate deck. Blue Black Mutate is sweet. I like playing it. I'll probably play it more, but there's just something to playing a 60 card deck where every card is an absolute heater. Alright, so that really was the last match. We did not jinx ourselves. We beat them down pretty well. Probably the next deck I'm going to ladder with a bunch will be Clover, because I just like this deck too much. I keep trying other decks, but I keep coming back to Clover. I like Nethroi. I'm fond of Nethroi, but this does not seem like the time for Nethroi. Alright, well thanks everybody for hanging out this long. It's been great to have 200 or so people pretty much the whole night. I'm grateful as always that you choose to hang out on this stream when so many other people are also playing Magic with great skill on Twitch right now. Hope to see you back Tuesday night. And remember to use exclamation point emotes if you want to make emote suggestions for the channel or any other suggestions for things I should be doing. Alright, have a good night, have a good rest of your weekend.